Norwood captain Michael Aish has won the toss at Footy Park and is elected to kick towards the lake end in their match against the Dogs. Quickly in there goes Rowe, couldn't get the footy out, and the umpire has ruled a free kick going the way of Norwood, to be taken by Stephen Rowe, centre field. Plus he's 15 metres. This brings Rowe right to the edge of the big centre square to put the legs into attack. Wind assisted up towards the half-forward line. They go big leap there. Oh, what a great mark! Disbury whips it out quickly. A handball now. Oh, leaving it behind there for Norwood. Not a good effort was Mark Ducker. Down they go on a pack. Lee goes in. Ducker over the top. With him there is Page, and the umpire will come in and bounce in the left full forward pocket.
Big strong leap from Sean Disbury, a man who's very capable of taking good marks for Norwood in attack. Umpire tosses the ball high in the air. Players up high. Payne had it. He was tackled strongly by Flintoff. Stephen Connolly appealing for the free kick. In fact, it's going to go the opposite way. In the back pocket's going to be Scott Lee.
I don't know why Disbury didn't take a shot, Rick. He was only about 30 metres out. Could have scored at least.
He's not a bad kicker of the football. Plenty of distance in him. Kick out from Scott Lee, or Trevor Rowe got bundled out the way. Aish at the back waiting for the crumbs. Handball fed out, and Central's drive towards centre wing. Buckley from behind of Fosdyke, and Buckley sees the ball out of bounds grandstand side.
Conditions pretty good considering the rain. Not as many as we had here on Wednesday night, but they'd be in the vicinity of 7,000 or 8,000. Minute gone, first quarter. Aerial ping pong at the moment. Goes in towards Neagle. He can't get the ball out, and the umpire will ball it up. Umpires Michael Abbott and Laurie Argent. Sees a free kick after all that. Yep, down he goes again, and it'll go to Rick Neagle. Half forward left flank. He goes in long. Up towards the leap of Disbury again. In front was Darker. Did that one a lot better. Down he goes. That is Neve. Simon Neve holding the ball, and the free kick will be taken by the Dogs on the half-back line by Mark Pryor.
These conditions are good for football. That drizzle this morning and low clouds have disappeared. At the moment the sun is shining. Let's hope it stays that way. The ball in the centre of the ground at the moment. Rowe going through for Norwood. Tried the kick off the ground, it didn't work. Fosdyke and Flintoff working hard, as well as Greg Thomas and Jamie Thomas, and some heavy body work being used in there. The umpire decides he's going to bounce down, and umpire agent will bounce. Played 2.5 minutes of this first quarter, still no score. John Hall up high. In effect, the tap. The holding on decision going the way of Norwood. It's going the way of John Hall. Plays it off quickly. The Redlegs go into attack through Justin Scanlon up towards the half-forward line. Payne the loose crumbs if he's quick enough. Gets a wild handball away in the direction of Disbury. He may have got one in the back. Picked up by Brady under plenty of pressure. Neve got a hand on it. Michael Aish, a strong tackle out now to Payne. Payne shoots towards goal, and it's a free kick back downfield. Well, a good effort from Payne, but the free kick going the way of the Dogs.
Yes, Michael Graham was definitely dealt with then, and the umpire had blown the whistle virtually before the player had even kicked the ball, so there was no question of a late decision by umpire Abbott and Graham to take his free kick inside the half-back line. Last time I saw him play was in superb form and must have been very close to state selection. Trevor Rowe coming back after spending a time in the reserves on the half-back line, edges the ball up towards centre wing. The leaper will be Bubner, thump clear. Rowe now. Can't get it out. Quickly working on the ball there for the Dogs is Smith. And he's going to get a free kick for a high tackle, I believe. Yes, half-back line. Smith to put the Dogs back up towards their half-forward line again. This time he finds Shields. At centre wing, the Dogs have not been in attack as yet. This is their first opportunity. Ball towards the half-forward line, getting back on it and taking a fine defensive mark will be Taylor. Taylor goes in field. Oh, gee, this could be dangerous. Richardson gets bowled. It wasn't a good effort at all. Quickly now, Bubner gets the handball across. Krieg shoots for goal. It's an awkward kick. Could bounce through. Mandamaker! Oh, what a mistake then by Norwood. Mandamaker kicks his first. The Dogs have taken 4 minutes to do it, but they lead 1 goal to the legs, nothing.
It's a dangerous kick there by Michael Taylor, a veteran of some 300 games. He went across ground, and his teammate there in Richardson couldn't control it. Wound up with Central Districts and Mandamaker. Boy, he's carrying right on with his form from Wednesday night. Made the most of it, popped it through for his first. Central's 1 goal, Norwood yet to score.
It's a good one into the breeze. Moulds against Hall, line ball taken well, Thomas. The kick to the half-forward line. Line ball this one as well. Gets it out now towards Krieg again, beautifully smothered by Michael Taylor. Now Fosdyke off the half-back line. Drives long, up towards Michael Aish, can't bring it down. The umpire has seen a free kick. It's going the way of Trevor Rowe. who's in his familiar position as the tag of Michael Aish.
Trevor Rowe has done some great jobs on Michael Aish. Rowe from the centre of the ground. Goes towards the half-forward line. Front spot, Jamie Thomas. Thomas drives in long up towards full forward. Mandamaker on the lead. He won't get there in time. Off hands. Another chance now for Central Districts. Krieg on the bottom of the pack again. He's working hard in the early stages of this first quarter. And umpire Abbott will take control and bounce down. We've played just over 5 minutes. Central's 1 goal. Norwood yet to score.
Wouldn't be happy with a mistake. Long way to go in the game yet. Other mistakes will be made. Mandamaker can't. Rowe goes in hard. The bottom, it looks to be Flintoff. Gets the ball out. Socket off the ground. Wrong side of the aluminium. And once again, who was that? I think that was Trimboli, was it? Yes, I think it was Trimboli who got his foot to the ball. And the Dogs move on to 1-1. Norwood still zilch.
Rodney Maynard at full-back at the moment. Hoping to do the job on Rudy Mandamaker. Kick out was good to find Gary McIntosh, and McIntosh will get a 15-metre penalty. No, he won't. He plays it on quickly. Up towards centre wing. Connolly will fly from behind. Kelly in front spot. Tapped on by Aish. Flintoff, the man in front, towards Shield. McIntosh met Shields very heavily. Chance now for the Dogs to build again. Jamie Thomas. He puts the high ball up towards centre half forward. Mandamaker front spot. Off hands Buckley, and Buckley are running towards an open goal. The Dogs have got 2 on the board. Buckley can't miss. He can't. Central's 2 goals, 1. Norwood yet to score.
I tell you what, Buckley at his full 15 metres, he was fortunate he didn't get pinged up for holding the ball then or running with the ball. He almost took it home. He wasn't going to make a mistake. He ran, I reckon he ran 20 metres. I'd like to have that one measured metre for metre. But nevertheless, he kicked a short goal, and it's 2-1 the Dogs at the 6-minute mark, and what a wonderful start into the breeze.
Norwood have lost 4 key players from their defence this week through injuries, and if they are to be suspect, maybe it's in that defensive department at the moment. The Dogs have got 2-1 and Norwood have yet to score. Hall got up high. Good tap down towards McIntosh. David Payne gets the kick forward for the legs. Up towards centre half forward. Players come to meet it. Ducker was met heavily. Still working hard for it with Page. Disbury tries to crash his way through. Wasn't successful. Flintoff's kick was beautifully smothered off the boot by Payne. Scott Lee and Flintoff in again. Umpire lets play go until it becomes a proper stalemate, and we'll see a bounce down.
About 45 metres out from the leg goal. They're starting to drag the chain, kicking with the breeze. Quickly in there is Connolly, can't get it out. I think that was Pryor who got a touch. Onto the boot again. Long handball out now from Trimboli up towards centre field. Krieg gets it to Buckley playing on the half-forward line. Shields edges it to that half-forward line. Kelly playing centre half back in defence. Lost possession of the footy. Got to work hard for this now. Down goes Mandamaker, fighting hard for the ball at the back of the pack. Quickly back in defence now is Maynard. Kicks it high, but gee, hasn't made any ground with it. Richardson, full-chested dash of the ball, did it well and took a safe mark in defence. Passes it off to McIntosh. Gee, the legs have already made one blue coming across ground. But on this occasion, McIntosh is okay. He's at centre half back, sends it out wide, looking for McNeil out there. With him out there is his former teammate in Thomas. McNeil takes a nice mark. Runs it back now to Connolly. Connolly kicks long up towards the half-forward line. Fine mark paid. Oh, he was off. The umpire didn't see it that way. Maybe he called to play on. Rowe back to Graham. Graham's got a dummy round. Tangoes nicely and gets the ball out wide. Moulds has to make the metre. With him is Brady. Can't keep the ball in play, and it's out about 35 metres around from the leg goals.
Although rain has dropped away, conditions still a little slippery out there at Football Park. Cowboy Neil would desperately like to see the Dogs win today. Kicked off the ground last week at Elizabeth at the hands of the Bloods. Page, Greg Smith I should say, towards the centre of the ground. Buckley from behind, used the height well, play on the call from the umpire. Now Russell Shields gets a kick forward for the Dogs. No one home, however. A good mark taken in defence by Michael Taylor. We'll think about this one. Comes across ground to find Richardson. Richardson's got plenty of time to have a look. Players short and loose. That's Rick Neagle. Neagle on centre wing. Umpire Argent asking Krieger to get back on the mark as Neagle drives long towards centre half forward. Disbury got up high again. Couldn't get 2 hands to the ball. The Dogs' defence at the moment through Brady holding up extremely well. Richardson from behind. Courageous mark taken in front by Greg Smith.
Smith on the half-back line at the moment. The Dogs have started well. Their up and down form still there. Lack of consistency is a worry to them. Moulds, still this game's not over yet, but they've started very well. Andrew Moulds. Oh, slipped it to Graham. He could get run down. No, Neave can't catch him. Did it well. Puts it out wide. Here's a chance. Thomas. Scanlon's going to have to work hard to get to him. Well shepherded Trimboldi. Thomas gets it out. Bubner a chance, half volleyed nicely, gives a chance now, Coffey whips it back in, Krieg can't get there, Taylor's edged off the ball, and the umpire will give the Norwood player a free kick. Taylor lets to go on, kicks long up towards the half-forward line again, Neave and Graham, neither can get the footy. Whoop, the high tackle is on Flintoff, the umpire sees it that way, and he'll take the free kick almost on the half-back line, just the check side of the centre.
Both sides looking to get their game moving. Middle of the ground is Moulds. Over the top to Buckley. Had plenty of touches early in this first quarter. He feeds out the handball wide and out to Thomas, and Thomas's left foot kick is towards the square. Coffey out in front with the run of the footy at the moment. Tried to take it in one-handed, didn't succeed. He needs plenty of support. Krieg is there waiting for the crumbs. They won't come though. Michael Taylor in defence. He got the tap from John Hall. Taylor goes across the ground. McIntosh is target, and he finds Gary McIntosh in the back pocket. He'll play it on quickly. Choice of two. David Payne. The slips, but chance to recover and does, and then he about stubs his toe into the footy park turf. Once again, this Norwood defence under plenty of pressure. Kelly's in there with Scanlon. Now Maynard out to Payne again. See what he can do with this one. Not much better. Went straight to Moulds. Moulds from the centre of the ground puts it up high. Oh, big chance for Rudy Mandemaker. If he makes a metre or two, he does. Thought about the handball, but plenty of time to line up the white sticks, and his kick is a shocker. Out of bounds on the foot. You'd expect more from a state full forward.
Well, Mandemaker was a good 20 metres on his own. His opponent in Maynard had gone looking for the footy, and Mandemaker ought to have kicked that goal. I agree with Rick. McNeil couldn't. Quickly now Thomas hooks the ball around. Taylor, with him is Krieg. Here's a chance now. Long kick in there by Lee. What's he doing up in the forward division? Well, he normally plays in the back pocket. He's possibly followed up young David Payne, but he's booted the second point for the Dogs.
First 5 minutes of the game, it was all the legs. The last 5, it's been all Centrals doing most of the attacking. A lot of holding on going on, but the umpire lets play go. Payne from behind of Lee. Lee goes to ground, still hoping for that free kick, which isn't coming from umpire Argent. He decides he'll take control on centre wing and bounce down. 2 goals, 2 Central. Norwood yet to score. Umpire Argent goes for the toss. John Hall came in and collided very heavily there with umpire Argent. Took a heavy one to the back. Kick out. It's been marked in defence. Centre wing by Mark Pryor. Pryor towards the half-forward flank looking for Krieg, and he's marked that just inside the boundary line. Good mark by Krieg. Certainly adding some bite at the moment in attack for the Dogs as he drives towards the lead of Mandemaker. At the back is Coffey. Mandemaker got a hand to it. The free kick's going the way of Maynard in defence.
Couldn't see that one, but umpire Argent right there with him. Maynard goes for the lead of McIntosh and/or Rowe. Rowe takes a fine sliding mark. We've seen a few of those already in the early minutes. Good ground for sliding, certainly won't hurt. Payne, loose at the moment, has to get round. McIntosh gives him support on the left leg, smothered beautifully there by Lee. Now Neave with a chance. Socket off the ground, however, by Smith. Flintoff. Half-forward line, Michael Aish. Hall back towards Aish. McIntosh again. Now Hall's going to have to work hard. The big fellow goes down, tries to get it out. Shields in. Now Payne throws it out to Hall. Now Michael Aish a chance. Centre wing, the legs go into attack. Up towards the half-forward line. Graham, what a mark! He took 4 points to get that one and brought it down brilliantly.
Curler from Phil Graham. He's been asked to play on now, Phil Graham. Undecided what to do with the footy. Finds Brady. Brady will try and clear out of defence. Not a good kick off the boot. Chance now for Buckley. He'll need some support. Scott Lee provides it. Not a lot of pressure being applied at the moment by Norwood as Lee drives long towards Mandemaker. May have been pushed in the back. Play on the call. Maynard's still got the run of the footy. He needs a favourable sit. He gets it. Drives towards centre wing. Shield backs his judgment. Picks up beautifully on the half volley and drives in long. Coffey from behind. Front spot was Kelly. Back of the pack, still a chance for the legs as finally Kelly gets a kick out towards the centre of the ground. Nobody home for Norwood. Well, Smith dropped what he should have taken. Under pressure now from Connolly. Smith will go short, could be dangerous. Over the head of Buckley, crashing through Mark Pryor. In defence, another chance for the Dogs. Joe Trimboldi tried to break through but couldn't. Shields again, finally got it out. Now a chance for Trimboli again. Mandamaker waits for the crumbs, 3-on-1. And umpire Argent decides he'll bounce.
I reckon, Rick, that ball must be pretty slippery. There's a lot of ball handling mistakes at the moment. It's not sure. But Barham waiting to come into the action. Obviously, he's going to interchange with John Hall from the bench. Right on the edge of the square. The Dogs in attack. Bubner in there. Can't get it out. Taylor likewise. Finally, I think it's McNeil who kicks back to the spot where he ought to be. That's the centre wing spot. Connolly works hard for it with Pryor. Now Thomas. Thomas jams it onto his boot. It's not a good kick, but it finds Coffey. No, not Coffey. It is Krieg in the corner. Goes in long. Mandamaker sets himself. Bubner over the top and pulls down a brilliant mark. Only... well, he paid it the other way. Well, it couldn't have been Bubner who lost the ball. It must have been Mandamaker who was the player in front. And not Rowe. It is Fosdyke with the footy now.
Out wide to find Justin Scanlon, or he's found himself in heaps of trouble from Joe Trimboli. Likewise, Trimboli now in trouble from Scanlon. Kelly, McNeil. Appealing for the free kick there was Greg Thomas. He's going to get it too for a high tackle. So Greg Thomas, too far out to score, although he's getting a 15-metre penalty now, which will bring Thomas up to about 40 metres out from goal. Or the short kick will find Russell Shields, drifting down away from his man in Rick Neagle. Shields will settle play down and have a shot for goal. 35 metres out, kick number 6 coming up for Russell Shields. Looking for his team's 3rd goal. The kick's drifting across the face of goal, in fact through for a point. So Centrals have had 5 scoring shots. They're 2-3. Norwood still yet to open their account.
Gee, their opening has been impressive. Richardson gives the lead. He's 50 metres clear. Now Michael Aish goes into the distance as well. But the player coming on for the Dogs, the interchange player in Robertson, went straight into the action. I'm sure that Michael Aish didn't know he was there, that they just interchanged. But the ball is out of play at centre wing. Moulds with Barham at the centre wing, throw in. 2-3-0. Moulds can't in, goes McIntosh, runs into his own player. I'm sure that he was hit by his own player there, and McIntosh gets the free kick at centre wing. Well, I suppose he was grabbed round the neck. I don't suppose it matters who's done it. McIntosh drives to the lead of Disbury. Disbury there, can't bring it down. Ducker at the back, with him is Page. Touched off the boot. Neve can't get away. Great tackle put on him. Now Rowe, he hasn't got the footy, and the umpire will give him a free kick at centre half forward. Too far out to score. He's coming out to McIntosh. McIntosh has got Ducker in the pocket, and that's where the ball will end, and Ducker should take a shot for goal. A very promising youngster who's been out with a bad hand injury. In fact, I think he broke a bone in it. And he's only very young indeed. Showed a lot of promise last season when he got his chances. He's about 35, 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. 17, 18 minutes gone. The legs have yet to score. That's a nice-looking kick. That's home for all money. Davies first. The legs first. They trail the Dogs 2-3 to a goal.
It's taken almost 80 minutes of this first quarter for Norwood to get that goal. Good work by McIntosh to see Ducker free in the forward pocket. Ducker making no mistake, and if anything, the legs are kicking with a slight breeze here at Football Park, although it's probably only worth a goal towards the lake end. So Norwood 1 goal, Central's 2-3.
Definitely the Dogs' commitment has been better than Norwood to this stage overall. McIntosh excluded in that. Flintoff tried to get out a handball. Greg Thomas. Flintoff wants it back again. In goes Connolly. Flintoff again. This time he'll get the free kick on the defensive corner of the square.
David Flintoff to drive the Dogs into attack. Buckley makes a lead. Flintoff ignores it, goes towards the outer side for Bubner. Crashing through there was Scanlon. It's a wobbly old kick away. Greg Thomas first there, appeals for a holding the ball decision without the footy. And Greg Thomas will get it. He played for it. One of those professional free kicks. As soon as he felt the player behind him, dropped the footy like a sack of spuds. Goes short. Ace from behind spoils the mark. Trimboli to work against 2. The ball out of bounds on the outer side, and we'll see a throw in. We played 19 minutes, 15 points, played 6.
Cowboy once again bashing the Wrigleys. Throw in half forward left flank. He'd be happy with the start. They lead by 9 points into the breeze. Bubner comes over the top. McIntosh out with the footy. Now the long kick by Kelly down towards the half back line. Payne, but the umpire's seen a free kick. He ruled that the Central's player, when he was going for the mark, his hand was held, and Scott Lee will take it on the check side of centre wing on the outer side. Put the Dogs up over the centre line again. They lead by 9 points. Scott Lee taking his time. Not a lot of movement up forward. Goes towards the half-forward line and Buckner. Almost got it. Got his hands to it. Out comes Buckley. Unusual to see him playing on that half-forward line. Coffey on a long lead pulls in a nice mark. Too far out to score. Shields goes into the pocket. That's where he's going. Maynard, Mandamaker up over the top and can't bring it down. Taylor in defence. Flintoff over the top. And the umpire will ball it up in the left full forward pocket for the Dogs.
Mostly all Central Districts, 20 minutes of this first quarter. Kevin Neal has been trying to grind some positive attitudes into his side this week. At the moment, the Legs are not looking good in defence where they've lost most of their players. Neagle from the half-back line goes towards centre wing looking for Richardson. And he gets plenty of attention too from David Buckley, and the 15-metre penalty will come from Argent. Centre wing, Stephen Richardson, he'll get 30 now. Ball not delivered straight back to him, so Richardson will drive long. Ducker on a lead, but won't reach that player. Graham got caught in front of the pack. At the back we've got Page for the Dogs, and he'll see it safely out of bounds in that left forward pocket.
A throw in about 25 metres around from the Legs goals. 2-3 to a goal. And we've played 21 minutes. At the throw in, Moulds. Flintoff, good tackle on by Neve. Now Graham. Plenty of time through the half-back line. Edges the ball up towards Buckner. Can't bring it down. Kelly right there with him. Now a chance, Michael Ace. It was almost Kelly who put the saddle on. Quickly, ball got out quickly. Well by Scanlon. Great running tackle there by, it's Trimboli. And the free kick will go to that player at centre half-back.
Superb tackle on Payne from Trimboli. Central's the run of the footy towards the outer side. McNeil got up high for the Legs. And Tim McNeil with the ball. Norwood goes short. Justin Scanlon with space in the centre of the ground. Handball goes off quickly towards Fosdyke. Fosdyke's kick is a shocker. Richardson took off the opposite way to Buckley and left Buckley with the run of the footy. His handballs put Scott Lee under enormous pressure. He's tackled strongly by McIntosh, and that's holding the ball.
He'll lose it shortly if he keeps on going like this.
So McIntosh's use of the elbow there, not nice. Mac is going to win himself a 15-metre penalty. Brings him up to within about 40 metres of the goals, but he'll go short. David Payne, as always, seems to be able to find space, and Payne kicks towards goals, and he's hit the woodwork or the aluminium. And it's a point to the Legs. They're 1-1, Central's 2-3.
Not looking all that smooth in attack. Kick in by Page. Grandstand side. Off goes Thomas. Fosdyke did it well. Krieg into support. Now Thomas off the half-back line. Joined by Pryor. Shields is clear. A chance for the Dogs to go into attack now. Half-forward line, long kick. Mandamaker on the long lead. With him is Maynard. Mandamaker one-handed. Maynard comes out with a footy. Oh, Michael Taylor left it behind. Robertson in. McIntosh back in defence. Takes time. Puts out the kick and finds Fosdyke. A good pass. Whoop, down he goes. I would think that could be 15 metres, or won't the umpire see it that way? Umpire Argent just saying the tackle was late, but yes, he does give 15 metres. Been a bit of rough and toughness in this first quarter. Fosdyke goes out long, up towards the full forward pocket. Back there, it's Flintoff. He dropped the footy. The umpire said play on. Neve with a chance. Beautiful smother off the boot there by Pryor, and the ball tumbles out of play.
Makings of a fine game of football this afternoon. Conditions certainly brightening up. Drizzle has disappeared from early this morning. Well, Scott Lee finds himself underneath the hammer. Cop one too high, says umpire Argent, and the free kick will go the way of Scott Lee in the back pocket. He goes short. Shocking kick towards McNeil, but he couldn't half volley it. McIntosh almost laid Flintoff to rest. Payne comes out with it. See how he goes with the kick this time. Much better kick by Payne. He's popped it through for his first. 2 goals, 1 North. Central's 2-3. 5 kicks to David Payne.
Top effort by David Payne, but it was a McIntosh goal. His full fronted tackle on the player coming to meet it. He showed a lot of courage there. He just got the ball out far enough for Payne to swoop on it and went for goal with a fine kick. And the Legs starting to get back into the game. At the 24-minute mark, they trailed 2-1, 2-3 on Sevens Big League.
2 points the difference. Centre square infringement going the way of Craig Barham. So Barham from the centre circle drives long with the aid of that slight breeze. Up high. No mark paid to Brady. He had front spot. At the back was Disbury. Whistle has gone again, and umpire Abbott decides he will bounce down at centre half forward. The Legs by 2 points. Almost full time of this first quarter. Brady up high, kicked off the ground by Scott Lee. Craig Barmer, kick behind play, takes possession. McIntosh been in just about everything for the legs at the moment, providing plenty of drive for them. McNeil comes out with the football, gets a left foot kick away, and Ducker's taken a fine mark on the chest. So Mark Ducker already kicked one so far for Norwood. That was their first goal at about the 11-minute mark. Now finds himself with a chance to make that 2. Will have no problems at all with the distance. Just needs the accuracy. His opening goal was from about 10 metres further out, and that's another beauty from Mark Ducker. He's kicked to the youngster. Norwood hit the front. They're 3-1. Central's 2-3.
Yes, young Ducker's big problem last season was his body strength. Being so young, he didn't have a lot of it, but he looks like he's put on a bit across the shoulders and upper arms there. And that occasion, that dash for the ball and to take it on the chest like that showed that he's certainly improved his strength during the off-season, and he's coming back strongly into the game now. His 2 goals in the first quarter suggest that the legs have found themselves a full forward. They lead 3-1 to 2-3.
Almost a quarter of 2 halves. Central's first half, Norwood coming home strongly. Central's into attack. Taylor backs his judgment. Robertson hoping for the crumbs at the back. It doesn't come. Kelly with a footy now for the legs. Feeds out the handball to Maynard, and Maynard will run towards centre wing. One-on-one duel out there. Thomas and McNeil. McNeil goes down. Thomas keeps his foot, or his footing. With the foot, he doesn't know what to do with it. Hooks around the body in the direction of Robertson. Taylor from behind, swooping on the footy is McIntosh. Had a good first quarter. 9th kick coming up. Oh, he feeds out the handball to Scanlon. Scanlon's kick is long, looking for Connolly. Front spot was Brady. At the back, Mark Pryor. Handball goes out wide to Graham, but the whistle is gone. The free kick's going the way of the legs. On the half-forward line, it's going to be Michael Aish. It's Aish with the footy. Trevor Rowe wearing him like a glove in this first quarter as Aish drives long. Connolly comes out. And a late tackle there from Mark Pryor as well. Stephen Connolly, though, paid the mark directly in front of goals. A good 40 metres out. In fact, the 15-metre penalty is going to be applied. Pryor was very late on the scene. Deserved a 15-metre penalty. So Connolly now brought up to within about 20 metres of the goals and directly in front. Chance to put Norwood's 4th goal on the board. Come home very strongly in the last 10 minutes. Connolly would rarely miss these. Stabs away, and when you open your mouth, you always put your foot right in it. Connolly collects the post. The second one this quarter for Norwood. They're 3-2. Central's 2-3.
Yes, Rick, it's usually me that opens his mouth just to change his feet. But Connolly playing against his former teammates. Maybe there was just a little bit of tension in that tackle. A thump away. Here's a chance. Rowe, 35 metres. Steady. Shoots for goal. And he's popped it through. Great running goal. Stephen Rowe. Kick number 4. The legs move to a lead now, 4-2 to 2-3 on 7's big league.
Well, there was a quick reply there from the Redlegs. Kick coming out from fullback. Central's taking control. It was David Payne that gave out the very quick handball to Stephen Rowe. Rowe on the run, made no mistake. Popped it straight through for his first. Norwood a 4-2. Central's 2-3.
Close to quarter time at Footy Park. The legs now by 9 points. Correction, 11 points. Through goes Rowe again, can't get it out. McIntosh, what a brilliant first quarter. Clearly best man on the ground by a street. Drives up long, looking for Ducker. Page there as well. Now Graham against Neve. In goes Payne, can't get it out. Disby at the bottom of the pack, gives Payne a chance. Out wider now, Michael Aish hooks round the corner. The bounce would have side, will it run through? Wrong side of the aluminium, and 1 point only to the Dogs. 4-3, correction, the legs. 4-3 to 2-3, siren sounds. Quarter time at Footy Park, and the scores as called. 4-2-20, 4-3-27 Norwood, 2-3-15 the Dogs. The legs lead by 11 points as we commence the second quarter here at Football Park. That lead coming after they stood the Dogs up 13 points at the opening 10 minutes. The ball is thumped towards the half-forward line. Krieg gets it out wide. Getting back on it now is Trimboli. Kicks in long. Mandamaker within there is Maynard one-on-one. Mandamaker comes out with a footy. Oh, Robertson there with him. Should have let Robertson go through. He was heading for goal. Fosdyke back in defence. Try to give it to McNeil. Trimboli over the top, and the umpire will come in and bounce 20 metres out in front of the Dog goal.
Bad news for Central District. Quarter time break. Greg Smith going down into the rooms with what looks to be either a shoulder or a left arm problem of some description. So they're virtually down to about 19 minutes at the moment. Bytheen, the player on the bench. With the footy, Kelly overran it. Robertson in strongly. Likewise Hall and Scanlon. And umpire Argent will bounce down. Central's 2-3, Norwood 4-2. A lot of feeling in this game so far. A lot of niggling behind play. A couple of scuffles have broken out in that first quarter. Hall goes to ground, got it to Scanlon. Kelly, a wild handball out. Well, that was far too high on McNeil. And Tim McNeil, the free kick for the legs.
He's still inside the half-back line. He edges the ball to Richardson. He would be on the half-back line. Only travelled about 15-20 metres. 26 points to 15. The legs lead. Moulds comes to meet the ball, a solid mark. He's got it between wing and centre. Put the Dogs into attack. Hall goes back in defence for the big mark. Big fella's not going to get there. Up goes Kelly, thumps it clear. Shields couldn't. Fosdyke can, gives the running Taylor a chance. The legs out of defence with method. The kick, the pace, not all that good. He'll need running support. Thought about Rowe, doesn't need him. Neve with a chance, fine mark. Great pass there by David Payne. And Neve has got a chance, 30 metres out. Plus 15 metres. He was 30 metres out. Now he's only 15 metres out. And I cannot understand a defence in any team that when a player has a shot for goal, he's marked the ball, it's a clear mark, why they ever give away 15 metres. Never ceases to amaze me, but at any rate, this brings Neve to within 15 metres of goal. Normally a very reliable left foot kick. And he hooks it, but he manages to get it through. And the legs off to a good start in the second quarter. They lead 5-2 to 2-3. Neve's first goal.
Passage of play there by the legs. It started with the veteran, Michael Taylor in the centre. He found David Payne, and Payne with plenty of time saw Neve on that lead. Beautiful kick by David Payne to find Simon Neve, and have a look at Brady come in late. The 15-metre was there, and of course Neve making no mistake. Norwood stretched their lead 5-2. Central's 2-3.
At the centre bounce, it'll be Folds against Hall. The umpire says he's going to throw it up. Hall gets the tap away. Thrown away by Trimboli. Back knock up there, Bubner. Here's a chance now. Shields, half forward line, goes for home with a long one. It's going to be offline. Mandamaker just gets sunburnt watching it go over the top, and the point will result to the Dogs. 2-4 to Norwood 5-2.
From bad news to good news for the Dogs. Greg Smith just ran out of the race in the change rooms and straight back onto the ground for the Dogs. Kick out from fullback. Run of the footy is Kelly, close to the line. Thought about the handball, had 2 attempts at it and had 2 aries. Ran into his own player in Fosdyke. Now he goes to ground and he's pinged for holding the football. Good tackle applied by Joe Trimboli. Trimboli with a footy on the half-forward line. Another 15-metre penalty going to be paid. This time to Trimboli. Seen a lot of 15s in this game so far. Now Trimboli would be about 30 metres out from goal. The angle about 45 degrees. His kick's only just going to make the distance. Big packed fly. Players get up high. Kelly and Taylor. Taylor comes out with the football. Skirts the boundary line. He was well shepherded too. Finds Neagle. Eagle's kick is high. From the back, Thomas. Front spot, McNeil. Greg Thomas gives away the free kick. McNeil wanted to go with it. He's going to be asked to go back onto the mark.
McNeil, who seems to be on the same side as he was in the first quarter. Maybe they just didn't change wings. With him there still is Thomas. Connolly goes up, but the umpire's going to give a free kick to John Hall. The big leg ruckman on the check side of centre wing to put the legs into attack. Goes towards the half-forward line, looking there for the leap of Richardson! Up over the top, the umpire says play on. Oh, no, he paid the mark. And what a magnificent leap. Gee, we've seen a couple this afternoon. He's got David Payne in the pocket on his lonesome, and that's where the ball will end. Payne too far out to score. Neve gives the lead. Kick number 7. Payne goes up high in towards full forward. Brady over the top and pulls down another fine mark. He'll come out wide to Smith. He was the player that left the arena, which he looked like he had a damaged arm. Yeah, there's something wrong with him. He's certainly not right. And I would suggest to you that he's got a damaged rib. And almost Jamie Thomas tried to take out Michael Aish, and Macca comes in to square off.
Boundary throw in. Bytheen comes onto the ground. Moulds has gone off. No doubt that Greg Smith is not 100% on the ground at the moment. Disbury gets the tap down to Richardson. He goes straight through the pack with very little ease. Goes out short and finds Mark Ducker. And another 15-metre penalty now. This occasion Page showing some attention to Mark Ducker. As Ducker gets the 15-metre penalty, Greg Smith is coming back off the ground. So Centrals have still got problems. Robertson will come on to replace Greg Smith. But it's Mark Ducker with the footy, and Greg Smith, you can see there, he's not well. Ducker lining up for goal number 3. Kicked 2 in the opening quarter. Another dead, true and accurate kick 2 for Ducker. 3 goals to the youngster. Norwood 6-2. They're getting away from Central on 2-4.
Yes, bad luck for young Smith then. Obviously, when he came off, he was carrying his left arm over across his chest, and we thought it must have been a shoulder injury, but obviously he's either busted a rib or maybe damaged the intercostal muscle between the ribs. But whatever it was, it's painful. He had to walk off. Ducker, another fine chest mark. As I said, he's added strength, put on his 3rd. The league 6-2 to 2-4 on 7's big league.
2 goals to Norwood in 6 minutes of play in this quarter. McIntosh trying to crash his way through, can't do so. Plenty of players around the fall of the footy, and umpire Abbott will bounce down in the centre of the ground. Norwood have certainly found their form in this game. Paul got up high, almost the tap. Connolly applying a strong tackle on Scott Lee. We'll repeat that procedure again with umpire Abbott to toss the ball high in the air. Playing 7 minutes of the second quarter. As I said, Norwood have added 2 goals. Central's put on just the 1 point so far. Here they go, into attack again. Connolly to Richardson. Richardson 40 metres out, running shot towards goal. Just needs a favourable set, and he's got it. Popped it through.
No.
7-2.
Ran too far. Well, I don't reckon he ran any further than Buckley did in the first quarter. And Richardson saying to umpire Michael Abbott, go back and measure it. He said, you're crazy.
Certainly wouldn't have run anywhere near as far as Buckley. Brady's kick towards centre wing. Bytheen got a hand on the footy. Thomas kicks off the ground, but now umpire Argent is asking for the ball to come back. The free kick going the way of Michael Aish. And according to umpire Argent, Trevor Rowe had a good grip on his Guernsey, keeping Aish away from the footy, but he's got it. Goes short to find Duncan Fosdyke. So Fosdyke on centre wing at the moment. He's got Richardson short, beautifully put to by Fosdyke to find that player on the edge of the square. Handball goes out to McNeil. Robertson closing quickly. Good tackle by Robertson, and he's pinged for holding the ball.
Yes, he who hesitates is lost. The handball really wasn't on. McNeil had a tag right on him. Shields gets that one from Robertson. The Dogs into attack up towards the half-forward line. Oh, big leap by Page. He's got it. He's gone from full-back to centre half-forward. Now it's 15 metres against the leg defence. Tit for tat they go, and Page has taken one high, but looks to be OK. He's only 35 metres out, and let's watch either goal kicking or whether the full-back can become a goal kicker. Just trying to think, it's Butner who's gone to full-back. Maybe Page is playing centre half-forward. The Dogs needed to do something. They're 22 points down. Page must make the distance. The accuracy is open to question. Not now. Right through the middle. And the Dogs got a very important goal with the breeze. 3-4 they trail the league 6-2.
There's been many moves made by both coaches. Of course, Greg Page, one of the moves from coach Kevin Neal. That occasion, Page is showing his strength too to take the mark. The 15 metres was there. The goal popped through, and just having a look around the ground, we see Norwood have made changes as well. Maynard no longer at full-back, but we're back with a centre bounce.
And in actual fact, Mandamaker's gone to centre half-forward, and Page has gone to full-forward, Rick. I'm just wondering, I'm just wondering whether or not Page is OK. Anyway, we'll find out as the game goes on. The kick out of defence goes across the line, and a throw-in will take place on the half-forward line. The kick coming there from young Sampson, who's just joined the game.
More moves at the moment you'd see on a chessboard. Kelly was on Mandamaker a moment ago, but no doubt that Mandamaker now at centre half forward. McIntosh, the handball goes out to Sampson. Sampson towards the middle of the ground. Simon Neve against Phil Graham. Neve goes to ground. Graham wins out from behind. Storming through was Craig Kelly, though. Used his strength well there. 2 players to choose from. This is McNeil. McNeil in turn finds Neve. Neve sets up Disbury. Wasn't a good handball. Bytheen appeared to be held on to, didn't have control of the footy. Brady, the relieving kick for the Dogs towards centre wing. Russell Shields underneath it, good gutsy mark too. Plays on quickly towards centre half forward. Diving mark coming across. Who is it? Peter Krieg. So Krieg with the footy, a long way out from goal. With the aid of a slight breeze though here at Football Park, it is just favouring that lake end. And Centrals desperately need a goal. Trailing at the moment 3-4 to 6-2. Krieg's kick is a long one too. In fact, it's a beauty. Popped it straight through the middle. 4-4 the Dogs. Norwood 6-2.
Oh yes, what a brilliant kick, Peter Krieg, and he had to work very hard for the actual kick. It wasn't meant for him. I think it was meant for the Page, the fast leading Page, but Krieg came across the flight of the ball, just got it, and put through a fine goal, and that's 2 that the Dogs badly needed. They trail still 4-4 to 6-2.
11 minutes gone of the second quarter. It's the Legs by 10 points. Peter Bytheen to do battle against John Hall. Maybe Bytheen the tap, went straight to McIntosh. He was forced to get rid of it. McNeil applies the tackle. Chance again for McIntosh, although Neve went for the soccer off the ground towards Connolly. He's tackled. In fact, Connolly's going to get the free kick. Brought an ugly tackle from Russell Shields. So Connolly with the foot. He always got players loose on grandstand side. Richardson with the football. He's got all the time in the world to line himself up. Steadies, shoots towards goal. Going to land in the square. Oh, big leap from the side and a great grab by Michael Aish. Read that beautifully, did the champion. High floating kick in towards the square. Aish coming from the side. Got up high. Seemed to sit there momentarily. Beautiful grab. And Aish should make no mistake from just 10 metres out directly in front. Norwood a chance to get their 7th goal on the board. Trevor Rowe on that occasion. Nowhere near Aish, and Aish pops it straight through for his first and his 5th kick. Norwood 7-2, the Dogs are 4-4.
Well, he's supposed to have a bad back, he's supposed to have a bad knee and bad everything else, but gee, what a brilliant mark, and that's Michael Aish at his best. The ball came in very high, players set themselves in the square, but Aish came from the side on, and it was a brilliant leap. Fine one grab mark, converts for his first goal. The Dogs are now down 4-4 to 7-2. But just getting back to the game, despite the conditions and the ball is very slippery, I reckon we've seen about 8 or 9 really top marks this afternoon, and players really leaping for them and bringing them down one grab. It's a good game now, 7-2 to 4-4. The Legs by 16 points.
John Hall up high, put the tap in the direction there of McIntosh. Buckley will come out with the footy though for Central District. Buckley's kick is high towards centre half forward. Robertson's going to be sandwiched, man to make of the crumbs. He concedes ground, but finds the running player in Jamie Thomas, and Thomas will line up the goals, and what a great reply. Now the free kick is going to come back down the ground, or is the umpire going to pay the goal? He's paid the goal, but Thomas was going to get the free as well. So the goal stands. Central reply very quickly. They're 5-4, Norwood 7-2.
Yes, that was a fine handball out by Mandamaker then. As you said, Rick, Thomas would have had another chance to shoot for goal had it been not successful, but he took the bump, the ball went through, and gee, this is tit for tat this quarter. We've now had 2, 4, 5, 6 goals in the space of 9 minutes, and it's really top stuff. 7-2 to 5-4, the Legs lead.
Then a bounce. John Hall tries to take this one out of the air, wasn't successful. Players very quickly converge on top of the footy. It's going to be umpire Abbott to toss the ball high in the air. Sun's still out and shining. Let's hope it stays that way. Hall, good tap down towards McNeil. Gets a hurried kick away. From the back of Aish there was Trevor Rowe. At the bottom of that pack is Stephen Connolly. Pryor copping a high one to the head there too, but he's up. Craig Barn warming up to come on for the Legs.
14 minutes gone, second quarter. Temper's just becoming a little frayed. Mac is always in them. I think that's the only reason he plays footy. Just to get rid of some of his frustrations, but what a player he is, and what a great player today. Flintoff got the ball away. The umpire won't play to advantage. He's sending it back or bringing it back, and it'll go to Peter Bytheen. Bytheen, who started on the bench, obviously going to give Moulds a spell in ruck, gets the free kick just on the check side of the centre line. He gets the ball. Now he's with it. Off goes Robertson. He's going in short. Pryor. Oh, Pryor was mown into the ground. The mark must be played, and Mark has marked the ball just on the attack side of centre line. Gets out long, getting underneath the ball is Shields, or on the long foot, plays in towards goal. The umpire starts to move away, and it's offline for a point. 5-5 Central, 7-2 Norwood.
Norwood at the moment equal top on the premiership table with North Adelaide. Central District's in 4th spot. Dogs won 4 and lost 3. Norwood won 5 and lost 2. Important game this one, looking for John Hall. Got a hand to it. Off hands though. Neagle towards centre wing. Aish and Neve were there for the Legs, but the free kick going the way of Philip Graham. Simon Neve really can't believe it. He'll never change it as Graham's got the footy. Drives long, half-forward flank. Jeff Robertson's his target and found him nicely too. Robertson's too far out to score. Not a lot of leads happening at the moment for the Dogs. Shields goes to the pocket. Robertson puts a high ball in towards the edge of the square. Big pack fly. Kelly had front spot. Krieg, opportunity onto the left boot, gets his kick away, falling very close to the boundary line. Now Shields claiming the mark. Let's get a decision here from the boundary umpire. He looked to be out from where I sit, but the umpire right on the spot says that he was in bounds. Shields will play it on now. Runs around the mark, gets the kick away. It's a high one, flag across the face of Golds. Coffey is there for the Dogs, but that one's out of bounds on the full. And a free kick going the way of the legs.
That's if he can take it. He comes up just a little proppy in the back pocket. The kick in towards Flintoff. Fine mark. Oh, he played on. Thomas has to throw it away. Flintoff another chance again. McIntosh back in defence, dispossessed. Big John Hall can't get it. McIntosh, and the umpire's going to give a free kick, and it's going to John Hall in the back pocket. Hall to edge, the legs out of defence. Nice looking kick coming towards the leader. McNeil up, can't bring it down. Rowe back in defence. He's bundled out of it. The handball away is not good. Finds Brady, centres it. Thomas can't find it. Shields tried to. Now Neagle, he took care of Thomas, couldn't get it out. Quickly in there is Sampson, also having his head pulled off almost is Kelly, and the umpire's going to give a free kick, or is he going to bounce the ball? He's going to bounce the ball on the attacking side of the square for the Dogs.
Pretty desperate football out there at the moment. Hall got the tap away. Crashing through is Jamie Thomas for the Dogs. Got the handball out, but Barnes smothered it. Now Kelly. It's a chance for the Dogs. Rudy Vandermaker from centre half forward. We didn't want to use the left hand for the handball. Fed it onto the right one, but still found Graham. Back to Vandermaker. Gets a hurry kick up towards full forward. Maynard had it and dropped it. Through comes Sampson to lend some support. Coffey sits on top of Sampson. And we're going to see a bounce down. Umpire Argent. Michael Abbott controlled today as Argent tosses the ball up in the air. Coffey from behind for the Dogs. It's rushed through for a behind by Rick Neagle. So the Dogs are now 5-6, Norwood a 7-2.
And playing a bit better, just a bit messy up in the forward division. Maynard had trouble finding someone to kick to before. Now he gets a kick away, and Fosdyke takes it on the half-back line. It was beautifully put, makes a metre. Too far for McNeil. Michael Ace is going to have to work hard for this. The umpire said play on. Greg Thomas picks it up, boots to the half-forward line. Trimboli can't at the back of the pack. Quickly now it is Coffey, gets it out. Robertson can't. Quickly in now is Sampson. With him there is Michael Taylor, and the umpire will come in and bounce. Michael Ace a little bit disappointed he didn't get a free kick for a push in the back there from Rowe, but umpire Abbott allowed play to go on. Throw up right on the edge of the square. Barm in there. Robertson trying to use his body. Comes out with a foot. He loses it now. Michael Taylor. Coffey. Fosdyke. Quickly now. Well done there by Neagle. Out to the outer side. Krieg with a chance. He'll come back onto the left leg. No, he gives a chance now to Lee. Lee shoots it. Goal. I think he put it through. The back pocket player has kicked one, or is it Lee? Yes, it is. It looks like he and Flintoff are changing in the back pocket. It is Lee's first. 6-6, the Dogs trail the legs 7-2. Great action on Sevens Big League.
The Dogs have had the footy in attack there for a long time. Some pretty scrappy play, but finally the ball came out to Peter Krieg, and he's a skilled player. He managed to find Scott Lee, and Lee made no mistake. The Dogs desperately needed that. They get closer now. 6-6 playing 7-2.
Yes, only 2 points the difference. McIntosh can't get it clear. Bottom of the pack is Kelly, trying to burrow through. The umpire said holding the ball. Or is it Kelly, or was it Fosdyke? It looks like to be Fosdyke. Went back in a hurry. Oh, I think that'll cost him 15. No, the umpire said it's quite okay. Trevor Rowe to put the Dogs into attack. He goes in high. Coffey's going to get a leap away. Great mark, Coffey. Had the set on young Sampson. Went over, one grab mark. And as I said, the feature of the game has been the marking from players on both sides. 35 metres out, must make the distance, and this could put the Dogs back in front. They haven't been there since halfway through the first quarter. A specialist full forward is Coffey, so this should be just a snack for him. The kick is going away a little bit just offline. The umpire moved very late at the last moment. 1 point only, and they move now to within 1 point of the leg. 7-2, to 6-8 on sevens, big league.
Concern showing on the face there of coach Neil Barr. Kelly has to beat 2. In fact, he's going to be paid. The umpire seems to be saying he's going to be paid the mark. I wouldn't have thought he would have been paid that, but playing with a footy, looking for Stephen Connolly. Pryor was there far too late, and Connolly breaks free towards the centre of the ground. The legs have got a good build up here. Neagle in turn to Scanlon. Scanlon from the edge of the square goes long. There's no one home. In fact, that ball will come back as well. Stephen Rowe wants to play it on for the legs. Justin Scanlon was dealt with.
I don't think it would have made any difference. The FAD was there, but the ball was taken by Rowe. He would have gone into an open goal, Rick, but nevertheless, the umpire has got to penalise that late tackle.
We've blown the whistle to call the footy, to call the free kick. So Stephen Rowe, rather than running into an open goal, will have a set shot with kick number 5 from about 12 metres out, and he pops it through. 2 goals to Stephen Rowe. Norwood are now 8-2, Central 6-7.
When the legs get the ball moving, they really show a clean pair of heels to the Dogs. As I mentioned earlier, the Dogs' forward line is a little messy, whereas the legs are moving the ball far more fluently. But then again, the Dogs have had 13 scoring shots to the legs 8, and they trail by 7 points. We've played 22 minutes of the second quarter, and it's 8-2 the legs, 6-7 the Dogs.
An 8-goal quarter so far. 4 to each side. Played 22 minutes. Bytheen against Balm. Trevor Rowe gets the kick forward for the Dogs. Flying from behind was Robertson, off hands Krieg. Got good handball. No, it wasn't Krieg. It's Krieg with a footy, in fact, and he'll make no mistake from 20 metres out. His second goal. The Dogs are 7-7. Norwood 8-2.
That's right. Great running football in from the Dogs. I didn't pick up the player that handballed it through, but gee, it was an open season. Taylor elected not to fly, whether he was called out by Coffey, but he stood his ground and decided not to. The ball came to ground, the handball out into the open goal goes Krieg. He boots his second, and once again the Dogs are just 1 point down.
Pretty much tit for tat in this quarter. Barman, Bytheen. Chance now for McIntosh. Does that so well, or the kick was well smothered off the boot by Scott Lee. Another great smother in turn by Michael Aish as Neagle goes out wide to find Simon Neve. Neve with plenty of time to have a look, drives in long towards the square. At the back is Ducker. Bulldog defence will get out of this, I think. Brady's got it. He's tackled by Neve. Kicked off the ground, I think, by Disbury. No, the whistle has gone. And holding the man decision going the way of the Dogs' defence. And the goal won't count, and it's going to be Craig Brady with a free kick.
Yes, Brady had the ball, he let it go, and the tackle was simply put on too long. Had they let go the tackle once he'd got rid of the ball, it would have been okay. Cost them a goal. Graham out wide now to Greg Thomas. Greg Thomas has Jamie Thomas clear if he can see him, but he's going inboard to Shields. Shields, oh, he was off. No question about that. Now Graham can't get it. Michael Aish. Graham does it well. Gives a chance, Rowe. In goes Neagle. Gets it out to Michael Aish. He's got Richardson in the pocket. Working hard for it back there is Buckley, but he's got Buckley's chance of getting it, and Richardson's got the ball in the right forward pocket. Ducker gives the lead, so does McNeil. Likewise Neve, but Richardson's going back to kick long. Players settled now, off goes Ducker again. He's going to give the kid a chance, and he's right on the line, but his chances of kicking the goal from there are about mine. I would think he's tucked in right against the line. He's in Doomsday's corner at Footy Park, trying to kick goals from there. Although Stazanowski did it twice for the Panthers last week. He's not even going to try. Neve can't get it on the half volley. Quickly back is Flintoff. Rowe was in there. Neve again. Over the top, button up Flintoff. Gets the ball out now as they kick the ball clear. Buckley back towards centre wing. Making a metre here is Scanlon. Can't get it in time. And the ball is out of play in the interchange gate.
Thrown on grandstand side. We've played almost full time of this second quarter. Norwood by a point. Anyone's game of football. Both sides need the 2 points. Their form this year has been something of a roller coaster ride. If anything, the Dogs in more trouble than the legs. It's 3 of their last 4. Kick forward from Rick Neagle. Coming to meet it, Greg Thomas. Gave the handball out to Pryor. Pryor got one high from Craig Kelly after disposal, and the kick will be paid down the ground to Trevor Rowe. Rowe's got the footy on centre wing. Lead's being made. Jeff Robertson well put too by Trevor Rowe. Too far out to score Robertson. Coffey wants it in the pocket. Been asked to play on now is Robertson as he goes short. It's in the direction of Page. Page keeps his nose over the footy, but he's lost control of it. Well, good tackle from behind by Trimboli. And finally, umpire Abbott will bounce down. The Dogs have still got it in their attack zone. They trail by a point. 26 minutes gone.
Bounce on the half-forward line, make that a throw-up or a ball-up. Krieg, Fosdyke has to concede ground. Robertson puts the tackle on, but Neagle gets the kick away up towards Richardson. Graham is there as well, swooping on at Rowe. Did that beautifully at the one grab. Off goes Ducker out in front of that player. With him is Buckner, and Buckner has been moved back to match the pace of the youngster. And the umpire's going to pull young Bucker back 15 metres, but he's kept the ball in the area and given his teammates a chance to pick the players up further afield. Buckner edges the ball out towards the half-forward line. Oh, no one got their fingers on that. Shields, the kick away is not good. Krieg is going to work hard for this. He'll need running support. No, gets clear. On the left leg, he puts it out for Robertson. That's beautifully put, Peter Krieg. And Robertson gets the ball 45 metres out from goal. Well, this has got to tie up the ball game at least. The Dogs, a point down. A goal will put them 5 in front. 27 minutes gone in the second quarter. Robertson's kick is going to be through. The Dogs in front. Robertson's first goal. 8-7, they lead Norwood 8-2. Great action on Sevens Big League.
We can put that goal down to Peter Krieg, who's working very well as a team member today. He's fed out 2 or 3 goals on that occasion. I think he saw Robertson coming, hooked the ball around the corner. It was a beautiful pass to Robertson. He made no mistake at all. So the Dogs have got their nose in front now. They're 8-7, Norwood 8-2. That's a lead of 5 points.
At the centre throw-up. Balm, but it's a tap away from Bytheen. McNeil hooks around the corner. Michael Ace trying to strike the tackle or the shadow. Gets the free kick. Ace elects to play on. Richardson clear. He's going to have to work hard. Over the top, Graham, well done. Buckley back in defence. In goes Knee. Buckley with the footy. Richardson over the top. And the umpire will come in and bounce.
Into time on of the second quarter. A lot of players around the ball at the moment. Bytheen goes for the big smash. About a 20-metre one in the direction of Trimboli. Centre of the ground, Russell Shields to Bytheen. Goes looking for Graham. Has to wait for the footy to get to him. Neve almost the tackle, but it wasn't there. As Graham chips away short in the direction there of Page. Page couldn't half volley it, and Maynard comes in strongly with Scanlon. We're going to see a bounce down. Next goal important. Central's in front by 5. Ball tossed in the air. Balm the tap. Richardson smashes it further afield. Neve to Rowe. Rowe from centre wing off the side of the boot. That slips. Getting on it, Buckley for Centrals. Needs some support. Gets the handball away to Greg Thomas. Pryor's had it. Feeds it back now to Trevor Rowe, and Rowe goes towards the half-forward flank. Coffey was on the lead. At the back is Fosdyke for Norwood. He's got time to have a look further downfield. Sees the lead of Ace. Rowe right with him again. Rowe at the back. Now in turn Flintoff. Flintoff's high kick into the attack zone. Players come to meet it. Sport away from behind. Krieg off hands. Beautifully done, Krieg, with the kick. Just slipping away and through for a point. In fact, no, that's going to be pulled back as well. And I think Peter Krieg's going to be allowed another shot at goal. I'd like to have kept the tally today of just how many times we've seen the ball brought back after shots for goal. There's been 1,001 15-metre penalties applied in the first half. And Peter Krieg now has a chance to steady and have another shot for goal. 8-7 at the moment, the Dogs to Norwood 8-2. Approaching 30 minutes, so an important kick for Peter Krieg. He's gone for distance, and in doing so, it's a real slip off the side, in fact out of bounds on the 4.
Bad luck, Peter Krieg. He got a point with the previous one. Academic now. Incidentally, McIntosh has died out of the game, and coincidentally Norwood not going all that well. He had 9 kicks and 3 handballs in that first quarter. He's had 1 kick and 2 handballs this quarter. Kelly, fine mark. Gee, he's a powerful figure now. Playing centre half back. Fosdyke. Oops, the tackle's high. He plays on, gets it out wide. Maynard, here's a chance now. Maynard will run the ball over. Neagle, the handball's not good, but he got it well. Kicks long towards the half-forward line. Pryor getting across. In goes Connolly, but Pryor marks it well. Read it beautifully. Buckner slips it out. Graham under pressure. He always seems to get out of those tackles somehow. Neve goes down. They put the saddle on him. The umpire's going to give him a free kick. Must be very close to half-time here at Footy Park. We've played over 30 minutes. Scanlon gets the handball, puts up the pass up towards full forward. Siren sounds. Long quarter, almost 31 minutes. A good quarter by Centrals. They're right back in the fight now. They lead 8-7 to 8-2 at half-time. As we commence the second half at Footy Park. Up goes Hall. Tried to get it to McIntosh. He was a lot quieter in that second half. Rowe can't get it out either. Quickly in Fosdyke. Jamie Thomas. Scanlon looks on. Ball still out. Moulds can't get it out. Fled off likewise. Finally it comes back to Kelly. Kicks long. The legs into attack. Up towards Ducker. In front, Bubner, fine mark. Youth versus experience there. Ducker has 3 goals. And the ball is transferred over to Scott Lee in the back pocket. Lee wants to edge it out to Flintoff. He's at centre-half back. Chance now to move out. Goes longer to the lead of Mandamaker, who's still playing centre-half forward. He can't get it. Scanlon will need the running Fosdyke going past. And the umpire said it was a throw, and the free kick is going to centre field, going to Peter Krieg. He's having a fine afternoon. Sends out the pass to Robertson. That was kick number 11. Robertson, half-forward line, has got it. Coffey gives a lead. Off goes Page now, playing full forward, but he's going for home with a long one. Mandamaker there. Kelly, Mandamaker. Fine mark. Uh-oh. He's going to give it the other way, has he? I've got an idea he's pointed the other way, or has he pointed 15 metres? That's better. Mandamaker seemed to take the mark. Kelly took umbrage, and Mandamaker took it high, and the umpire's given 15 metres. Rudy Mandamaker's only got one to date. Moved out to centre-half forward. Cannot possibly miss this one. Taylor is standing on the line, and Mandamaker boots goal number 2. The Dogs off to a fine start in the second half, leading 9-7 to the legs 8-2.
The second goal for Rudy Mandamaker. Got one in the first, and that's his second in the third quarter. But have a look at the mark. It was definitely there to Rudy Mandamaker. And then the attention there from Craig Kelly. I think he got his sports a little confused. And a 15-metre penalty was certainly there, if not even a report. But that brought Rudy Mandamaker up to the edge of the line. He wouldn't miss. And the Dogs are now 9-7, Norwood are 8-2.
Good start by the Dogs. They've eked out their lead to 11 points. They've enjoyed one bigger lead during the course of the game. That was at the first 10-minute mark. They had a 13-point advantage. Hall thumps the ball a country kilometre. The saddle goes on Payne. He still can't get it clear. It looks like they legged him, then put the saddle back on. But still the umpire is not interested. Umpire Laurie Argent, with a wealth of experience, ought to know. Does know. Great tap there by Disbury. Connolly couldn't get it out. Players tag up for the footy, and the umpire's going to ball it up again. Oh, he's found a free kick going to Buckley.
Buckley goes out wide, looking for Scott Lee. And Lee takes the mark. Takes off very quickly too. Probably out to pace Gary McIntosh, and Buckley gets the kick away towards the half-forward line. And chipping across, good mark to Duncan Fosdyke. To stand his ground. Fosdyke. Handballs on to Richardson. Richardson's got space from centre wing, drives long towards centre half forward. Neve and Graham. Oh, Neve at the back of the pack, or the back of the one-on-one duel, fell over but found the ball on his chest. Good reflexes from Simon Neve. Neve's a long way out from goal. Lead's being made. Neve ignoring Connolly, decides to drive it long towards the square. Disbury sets himself at the back. Mr. Reliable Peter Butler done a fine job since being shifted to full back for the Dogs.
Kicks out, Lee. He and Flintoff were changing in the back pocket in the first half. Could be still that way in the second. Lee has developed into one of the top back pocket players in the state. Finds Buckley. He likewise started on a half-forward line. He could be running on the ball. These days it's very hard to pick up players, such are the moves made by the coaches. Buckley edges the ball towards centre wing. Out there is Hall. Moulds couldn't. Richardson or Rowe wants it out. Good tackle. Slips out the handball. Hall. McNeil couldn't. In go the players, and the umpire will ball it up at centre wing.
Touch of the fumbles there from Tim McNeil. Umpire Abbott to toss the ball high in the air on the outer side. Moulds got up high but couldn't affect a tap. Bottom of that pack appears to be Flintoff with Stephen Rowe. And umpire Abbott will bounce once again. Central's 9-7, Norwood 8-2. Always that look of concern on coaches' faces. Kevin Neal no different. Well, he plays around the fall of the ball at the moment. Umpire Abbott calling play to go on. Bottom of the pack getting off the ground is Greg Thomas with Connolly, McNeil, and another bounce down.
Hall got the tap away. Connolly. Richardson might have been close to out on the full with that little tap across the line. And the anxious faces of the Norwood hierarchy, and anxious they might be now. Neville Roberts giving the Wrigley's a thumpy, and Cowboy Neil ought to have a competition. Backhanded knock by Moulds. The umpire's going to give him a free kick as well for a high tackle. Moulds from just the jack side of centre wing gives Mark Pryor a chance. Played well in the first half. Drives long to the half-forward line. Setting himself. Coffey can't bring it down. Mandamaker there as well. But Coffey's given away a free kick and will go at centre half back to Michael Taylor. Out wide is Richardson. No, it's not. Was it Michael Taylor? Now this is Fosdyke. It was Taylor. Fosdyke goes long. Beautifully put, Fosdyke. And Payne has got the ball at centre half forward. Might be struggling for distance. He'd be a good 50 metres out. Ducker gives the lead. He's going in long, up towards full forward, but it's all the dogs back there. Pryor and Brady. And Brady, there being the taller of the two, takes the mark.
Choice of two. Brady will go short to find Scott Lee in the back pocket. Lee towards centre wing. 1-on-3. Russell Shields took the mark beautifully, rode the bump, and gave the handball to Buckley. Buckley goes towards the centre of the ground. Trevor Rowe unattended. Oh, he's copped a very high one, but Rudy Mandamaker will be allowed to play on as he drives in long towards goal. Looks a pretty good kick off the boot, but no, just drifting across the face and through for a point. So Central's 9 goals 8, Norwood 8-2, and Trevor Rowe copped a beauty in the centre of the ground.
2-2 to Mandamaker. The kick in goes to the outer side. Big leap there, Greg Thomas. Mandamaker back on the foot. He gives a chance. Thomas now. Greg Thomas half-forward line. Puts it up. Robertson, but Big John Hall's got his name on this one. And the big fellow takes the mark. Oh, slips out a handball. That's not a good one. McNeil didn't have a chance. Now it's Trimboli trying to get through. Likewise, Robertson. Scanlon back there, and the umpire's seen a free kick. It's going the way of Robertson for hanging on. And an important kick for the Dogs right in front of goals. He's 35 metres out right in front. Replaced the injured Smith, who took a rib injury early in that second quarter, left the turf, then came back on again, but couldn't hack it, and is now resting in the bunker. Kick-off line once again. Oh, gee, the Dogs are wasting opportunities now. 9-9, they lead the legs 8-2.
Not good shooting at goal. It's 18 scoring shots to 10. Central's only find themselves 13 points in front. Kick comes grandstand side. David Payne got up high. And that kick off the side of the boot from Russell Shields is out of bounds on the full. So the free kick going the way of the legs. Going to be Maynard to bring the ball back into play. In fact, no, it's going to be Justin Scanlon, who then handballs to Maynard, which you can't do, according to umpire Abbott. And Justin Scanlon will now go back to kick over the man on the mark, which is Peter Krieg. Scanlon goes for distance. Players will set themselves. Mandamaker from behind. Richardson, the crumbs front spot of the pack. Michael Ace provides a good piece of shepherding to allow Richardson to kick. Simon Neve couldn't take the hard volley or high tackle. Play on the call. David Payne gets the kick away. Craig Brady swooping on it, but Butner with speed and pace gets right away from Ducker and repels that ball back whence it came. Richardson, though, will take the mark. Richardson to Hall at centre wing. Hall drops one on the half-forward line. Ducker behind, but waiting back there is Butner. And at the moment, the Dog defence is too good. Out wide is Jamie Thomas, centre half back. Time to move. Trimboli wants it centre half forward, but he's going out wide. Out there is Robertson. The Dogs into attack again. Off goes Page. Coffey with him as well. Page over the top. Maynard. Scanlon can't hack it. Trimboli gets it out now. Shot away at goal, and it's offline. Offline, 1 point. Yeah, Peter Krieg, fine work by him to get the quick handball out to Joe Trimboli. Trimboli under plenty of pressure from the red leg defence, just offline and through for a point. Maynard comes looking for Richardson. It's 2-on-1. Buckley at the back, dives on top of the ball. Now he knocks it out to find Peter Krieg, and Krieg Looks back across the face of goals, but there's no one home for the Dogs. It's all the legs as John Hall finds Maynard. Well, Maynard's got nowhere to go. He's sandwiched. Strong tackle play on the call. Robertson, likewise, he's tackled strongly, and Fosdyke comes out with the footy for the legs. Towards centre wing, Pryor against Connolly. One-on-one duel. McIntosh goes in to lend some support. Thomas kicks off the ground, close towards the boundary line. Picked up now by Robertson. He's got the speed to get away from Taylor. Robertson, left foot kick, looks for Page. Oh, Maynard from behind, good strong mark.
Gee, hasn't there been some great marks this afternoon? Maynard goes short. Fosdyke playing well on the half-back line. To Payne, that wasn't the best thing to do. Trimboli lost it. Now Michael Taylor, but a free kick is going against the legs. Their tackling has been careless this afternoon. They've given away countless frees, especially after the ball has gone. And Trimboli is going to get the free kick on the half-forward line. Gives a chance, man to make a ball back in defence. Whips out the handball. Michael Taylor makes an uncharacteristic mistake. Ball gets a high one, but he went to take out of the play Page, and the ball is out of play in the full forward left pocket.
Throw in underneath the scoreboard. Central 64, Norwood 50 points. Vandermaker got high from the side. Beautiful tap down to Robertson. Robertson in turn, and this should be another goal to the Dogs. Russell Shields, well done. Kick number 14 for him. Shields first. The Dogs 10-10. Norwood 8-2.
Oh, yes, that was a beautiful back knock then. The ball came back. Shields got the handball out from Robertson into the open goal. And there's no question that the Dogs are playing a lot better football than Norwood now. And they've got it on the scoring board. 20 scoring shots to 10 says it all. The lead, however, is only 20 points.
We can never write the Redlegs off if they start to get their game moving. At the moment, a touch of the fumbles in the Norwood camp. Hall, whistle is gone. Play will be allowed to continue, though, as Neagle gets a terrible kick away in the direction of Disbury. Been pretty quiet since taking a very spectacular mark in the first quarter. David Payne shot towards goals, and he's offline and through for a point. Norwood 8-3. They trail the Dogs on 10-10.
They're going to have to do more up forward if they want to win the game. Good pass in by Graham on that occasion. Finds Brady. Was looking for Brady to be at full back, but it was Graham that kicked in over the top. Moulds. The Dogs playing with a lot of confidence now. Slips it out towards the half-forward line. Coming across, his ace can't get there. Fosdyke through, is going to get run down. Puts out the pass, finds Rowe. Rowe likewise could get run down into the pocket. Not a good kick. Connolly wanted it. The ball was too far, and it went out of play in the right forward pocket. 10-10 to 8-3. The Dogs looking good at the moment.
Plenty of action on the phone at the moment. The Dogs bunker. Coach Kevin Neal laying a message or two down. Graham from the side gets the tap. Rowe, a aerial ping pong as Phil Graham butters up again, and he's bundled over the boundary line. And we're going to see another throw in. So the legs still in the attack. 8-3, plays 10-10. Played over 12 minutes of this third quarter. It's going to be Moulds against Sean Disbury. From the side came Stephen Connolly. Got the tap away. Payne was well checked. Neve waiting for it. Connolly and Scott Lee on the ground. And umpire Abbott's ball.
Right forward pocket. It'll be a ball up. The umpire, we're watching them at three-quarter time or half-time break it was, trying to bounce the ball in the centre circle, and they were getting it up about knee-high to a grasshopper. Disbury got it out. He's got the footy again now. Threw that ball away. Neve. McNeil can't get it out. Thomas goes for the sock along the ground. Here's a chance. Trimboli lost it. Scanlon through, runs into Rowe, and the umpire's going to ball it up again. Very friendly people. Neil Baum has his problems, and I'd be a worried man too if my side was playing like the legs are at the moment.
Paul got up very high against Moulds. Aish to ground. Trimboli the kick forward for the Dogs. Coffey against Sampson. And Sampson quite content to see that ball over the boundary line as Stephen Connolly leaves the arena. And Craig Baum it is that's come on for the legs. So Connolly getting a break. Throw in on the outer side. Vandermaker from behind of Hall. McNeil got the kick away. Chance now for Stephen Rowe. If it sits for him, it doesn't. Joe Trimboli sees it over the boundary line for the throw in on the outer side, grandstand side.
Actually, Baum has gone to full back. Maynard's disappeared onto centre-half back. I would think Kelly is going to centre-half forward. Yes, last Balm is pretty well, he knows it all along. He's made the move because he obviously is not happy the way that his forward setup is going, and the umpire's going to ball it up. Yes, it is Kelly to centre-half forward, Maynard centre-half back, and Balm full-back. And that's Connolly off. Right, the bounce down on the half-forward left flank. Ken 10 plays 8-3. The Dogs by 19 point, and Hall comes out with the free kick on the half-back line. He's battled hard. Don't like his handball sometime. Lost that 1-2. I can't see why he can't kick it. He's got a good kick on him. Coffey, and the umpire's going to see a free kick backfield, and it's going to Trimboldi, and he's got it on the half-forward line to put the Dogs into attack. Correction. Jamie Thomas, and he's going to get a 15 or 30-metre penalty. He can't kick it from there, but gee, he'll go close. Right up to the edge of the square, Vandermaker in there, Hall back in defence. Now, have a kick, big fella. Every time you handball, the teammate runs into trouble.
He's going to have a kick this time. He's going to go drive long to the outer side where Gary McIntosh provides some movement. He's got Neagle short if he wants him. He doesn't. McIntosh drives long, a big leap from behind. Kelly, Mark Ducker in the action for Norwood. He's been moved as well. It appears that Disbury's now at full forward for the legs. Overrunning the ball there was Andrew Moles. Now Flintoff, Kelly off the chest of Rowe. Now Phil Graham winds up with a footy for the Dogs. Gets the handball out to Mark Pryor. Pryor runs over half forward and drives in long towards the square. 2-on-1. Vandermaker in the centre. Put a hand on the footy. Coming through was Maynard, who he kicks straight to the opposition in Russell Shields. He hooks around the body. Getting back late is Jeff Robertson, and a heavy solid knock to Michael Taylor.
Yes, good heavy football that. Neagle makes the break on the outer side. Taylor gives him a fine pass. A long one at that, travelled about 45 metres. Fosdyke wanted it in the 1-2 or on the outer side. It's Payne who takes the ball. Payne at centre wing to put the legs into attack. Richardson on the lead. Gee, he's taken about 13 marks this afternoon. Make that 11. Always exaggerate. Ducker in the pocket. Gee, must have been very close to that line. Ducker about 40, 45 metres out. Couldn't make the distance from there, I wouldn't think. Coming in field, or too far for Fosdyke. Payne's going to have to work hard. He's beaten one. Can't get through Graham, however, and the umpire will ball it up in the right forward pocket, and Payne comes up a little bit cross about the whole situation.
Well, there's poor football there from Ducker. If he could have got the quick kick away, he had Disbury lurking alone in the square. It's Phil Graham and David Payne still continue to sort out their differences. Andrew Moulds gets the tap away, straight to Rowe. Rowe gets the handball back to McIntosh. He hooks around the body, high to the square. Hall sets himself from behind, can't take the mark. Buckley relieves for Central Districts. He's got nowhere to go. In fact, handball's over the top of a red leg play to himself. And finally, the ball works its way towards the boundary line and to throw in the result. Well, Buckley had look up, saw nothing but red leg jumpers.
A brilliant run down by Richardson. What are they thinking? Can't help you. Moulds. Scott Lee. Knee put on the tackle. Quickly through now. Rowe shoots for goal, and he's just offline a point. And the Legs have only scored 2 points since about halfway through the second quarter. That takes them on now to 8-4 to the Dogs 10-10.
Played just over 18 minutes of this third quarter. The Dogs at the moment looking good. Brady's kick out. Craig Kelly a strong mark. Bubner was leading wider. Kick out wasn't good. Kelly goes short to find Stephen Rowe at centre half forward. Now Mark Ducker's free in the pocket. Paul on a long lead. As Rowe's kick goes towards the square. And well, that might have been an error there by the red leg player in Mark Ducker. It was Simon Neve, because if he'd have kept his hand off it, I think it might have gone through for a goal. Point the result.
Brady to the lead of Moulds. A good pass. Still inside the half-back line. Off goes Bubner. He's come into the action now. In fact, Bubner has actually followed Kelly into the forward division. So Bubner playing centre half-back. Payne in. Bubner can't get there. The kick is going high into the pocket. It's all the Dogs back there. Lee makes a metre, straightens up and sends the ball back to centre wing. but he hasn't sent it back very accurately, and the ball, in fact, out on the full, and the penalty free kick to the legs taken by young McNeil. McNeil goes short to Payne. He's still on the half-forward line. The legs, not a lot of method in attack. They had it in that first half, but the Dogs' defence has tightened considerably. Up towards Big Hall in the middle of the pack. Brady away. Free kick there in defence to be taken by Moulds. Hall not happy, but the free kick obviously stands.
Neil Barnes now got John Hall at full forward. Brady the job on him. Aish got the tap out to Richardson. He crashes through 2, 3, 4 Bulldog players. Gets the handball away. The kick in from Sean Disbury. Looks pretty good off the boot too, and Disbury's popped it through for his first. Norwood coming back. The 9-5. Central's a 10-10.
Yes, I don't think they're playing well enough by any stretch of the imagination, but at least they've got the ball in their attacking division. And Coach Barmer's made numerous changes trying to get the players to fire a bit more. He's got Hall at full forward at the moment, Ducker in the forward pocket, Kelly at centre half forward, and it's going to be Disbury and Ruck. They trail 9-5 to 10-10 on Sevens Big League.
Norwood haven't beaten Central District since 1985, and the way things are going here at the moment could chalk up another loss. Disbury got up high. Players having trouble just controlling the ball in the centre of the ground here at Football Park. It's been a fairly wet week, and the state game on Wednesday, reserves match, and now the league match here. The centre circle just beginning to get a little bit chopped up. Disbury up high again. Greg Thomas it was that got the handball out. Now Trevor Rowe applies the tackle on Scanlon, and umpire Abbott will toss the ball high in the air again. Moulds against Disbury. Simon Neve the opportunity, tried to get the handball out and couldn't. Stephen Rowe can break free, however. Gets his kick away towards the half-forward flank, but Mark Ducker did extremely well to spoil the mark. Great handball from Aish to Payne. Payne goes short to Richardson, got a fingertipper to it. Backs up brilliantly, hooks around the body, going close towards goal. Richardson's kick's going to bounce its way through. It does. Great goal, Richardson. 14 kicks to the youngster. His first goal. Norwood 10-5, Central 10-10.
Oh, what a goal. That had more leg breaks in it than Richie Benno. He came out with a footy. It was a brilliant effort there by Ducker. It seemed certain that the defence of the Dogs was going to stand good. Ducker just got his fist to the ball, tapped it down. Richardson came up with it, beat 2 players, hooked around the corner, and it ran the last 10 metres.
Somehow the legs just keep on coming back, down by 5 points again as McIntosh breaks free. Gets the kick away, looks pretty good too, and he's found Mark Ducker. Slipping away from Philip Graham on this occasion. It was a good lead from Ducker and a great disposal from Gary McIntosh. McIntosh was brilliant in the first quarter, quiet in the second, and haven't seen a lot of him in this quarter either. Been well held by Jamie Thomas. Mark Ducker lines up. Kick looks good off the boot. 4 goals to Mark Ducker. And believe it or not, Norwood find themselves back in front. 11-5, Central 10-10.
That's incredible, Rick. I agree with your comment, believe it or not, because it seems to be the trend against the trend of play. Although in the last 10 minutes, Norwood has done all the attacking, and they've done it well. But up until that time, it was 20 scoring shots to 10, and the legs looked in trouble. But that was a fine kick from young Ducker. I would think that he's had 4 shots for goal for 100%. He got 4 goals and has done it well. 10-10 plays 11-5. McIntosh 3 kicks this quarter.
Legs by a point. Bytheen up high for the Dogs. Picked up by Fosdyke. Couldn't get the handball away. He's still trying valiantly, however. And finally, it's Drew Trimboli that comes in for Centrals. And umpire Abbott will bounce down. Point the difference. Played 23 minutes of this third quarter. Neither ruckman able to get off the ground on this occasion. Breaking out with his Michael Aish. Aish goes towards the half-forward flank. Ducker against Graham. The speedsters, away they go, and I think that's come off the toe of Mark Ducker's boot and out of bounds on the full.
Ducker's got a bit of speed. Philip Graham's not the slowest player in football, and he certainly matched it with him with a young fellow. Aish up over the top, goes for the spoil over the top of Rowe, but the ball goes out of play. Well, we've got a game on our hands. Only 1 point the difference. The legs in front. 10-10 plays 11-5. 24 minutes gone in the third quarter. The throw in. Bytheen on the turf now. McIntosh came over the top trying to get the knock. Down goes Buckley. The umpire said he didn't have the footy. It was underneath him. But the free kick goes to Buckley. The jack side of the centre line. Thought about playing on. And now McIntosh has given away a 15-metre penalty. Brings him to centre wing. Still not happy where to go. Drives long. Up towards the half-forward line. Thump clear. Here's a chance now. Page gets out of it well. Hooks around the corner. But that's going to be offline. 1 point. And that ties up the ball game. 10-11 the Dogs. 11-5 the Legs.
Craig Baum in that more familiar role of full-back, although umpire Abbott was going to ask the ball to come all the way back. I didn't see what the problem was. Richardson and Shields a rather vocal discussion, and Craig Baum will have to bring that ball back into play again. He's going to look this time towards grandstand side. Disbury will come to meet it, but Justin Scanlon, the flyer at the front of the pack. Scanlon will take off quickly. Norwood have got the run on at the moment. Short kick to Maynard. His handball was smothered. Fosdyke may have been in the back. Umpire says play on. Scanlon tries to crash his way through. He's caught by Jamie Thomas, and that is in the back. And the rather ironical cheer going up from the Red Leg supporters. Handball out wide to Simon Neve. He's well shepherded by Richardson and Shields, who continue to have a bit of a tussle, a few fisticuffs. As Neve's kick is high to John Hall, and he's taken a beauty. Good mark to John Hall. He and Brady didn't really get off the ground, but John Hall got the hand high up into the air and controlled it beautifully. Had to be paid. It was. Now John Hall has the opportunity to just stretch this Norwood, I was going to say Norwood lead, but at the moment they're locked together on 71 points apiece. Hall's kick starts out right, comes back beautifully. So John Hall's got his first now at full forward, and Norwood are back in front. 12-5, the Dogs at 10-11.
Yes, he's a good man to have resting on the field. They've been interchanging all afternoon from the bunker, but on this occasion, just through sheer necessity, Neil Baum has had to put him at full forward to have a spell, and the big fellow's always good for 1 or 2 goals. The Legs have hit the front by 6 points, 12-5 to 10-11.
Sean Disbury at the moment doing the ruck work for Norwood, changing with Hall, with Baum at full back. When he plays around the fall of the footy, the umpire Argent will come in and toss the ball high in the air. We're into time on of this third quarter. It's the Legs by 6 points. Neville Roberts looks to be going a little grey too, does Neville? I think most of the Red Leg bench would grow a few more grey hairs today in this game, the way it's going at the moment. Kick forward from Tim McNeil, coming to meet at Trevor Rowe. Picked it up beautifully, got the kick away as well. Chance now for Shields. Looks around the body, Robertson comes to meet it. He's got Taylor on his hammer, but Robertson's got too much pace for Taylor. Towards centre half forward. Out comes Coffey, he's claiming the mark. Umpire Argent was about 15 metres away, and he's decided that Grant Coffey had a good piece of that footy and has paid the mark about 30 metres out from goal and directly in front. So a straight kick here from Coffey will once again tie the ball game up late in this third quarter. Coffey full of concentration, but the umpire goes galloping, and it's through for a point. So it's a 5-point break to Norwood. They're 12-5, the Dogs are 10-12.
Only 5 points the difference. And the Dogs to come home with the breeze in the last quarter, and the Lake end is definitely the scoring end. Maynard, fine mark. They've done a good job on man to maker. He's only booted 2. Been at centre half forward most of the afternoon. Kelly up, can't bring it down. Ace behind the pack. Gets out of it well, drives high, half forward line, setting himself darker over the top row, can't bring it down. Quickly in there now is Greg Thomas, gets the ball back towards Michael Ace. He'll need running support from there, looking for the free kick, down he goes. The umpire said play on, and will come and ball it up in the centre pitch. 10-12 to 12-5. Michael Ace just umpiring, asking umpire Laurie Argent. In fact, he was umpiring, I believe that. He thought he should have got a free kick, and the ball goes back there to Buckley. Buckley goes to the outer side. Maynard getting across, does it well at the one grab, but nowhere to go, no one to kick it to, and goes for the safety of the line.
Conditions just starting to darken at Football Park. It's been a good day though. No rain at all, and we've had some long, fine breaks of sunshine. Let's hope we don't see any rain until at least the final siren. As rain at this stage would certainly mar a pretty close contest between two pretty good sides. Scanlon breaks free for the legs, over the top to Maynard. Maynard's got running support. It's Rick Neagle. Neagle's quick kick up towards full forward over the head of Ducker. Hall at the back. Now a chance for Stephen Rowe. He's everywhere. Can't get the kick away. Feeds out the handball to Aish. Aish hooks around the body. It's coming back and Aish has popped it through. Great goal to Aish. 10 kicks to the champ. His second. Norwood 13-5. The Dogs 10-12.
Three-quarter time at Footy Park. The quarter ends on that note with a brilliant goal to Michael Aish. And at three-quarter time, the Legs have got an advantage of 11 points. May not be enough kicking into the breeze in the last quarter, but lead 13-5 to 10-12. The Legs lead by 11 points as we start the final quarter at Footy Park. The same lead as they had at quarter time, but the Dogs led by 5 points at half time, and they're kicking with the breeze in the final quarter. However, the first free of the quarter will go the way of Justin Scanlon, just on the check side of the centre line. Gives a chance now across there to Sampson. The kick is high, doesn't cover a lot of distance. Kelly, fine mark. Move from centre-half back to centre-half forward, has done well in both spots. Now drives up looking for Disbury. Graham in front, does it well, and he's a mighty improved footballer. Gets the ball back to Brady. Graham with a handball. Coffey on the half-forward line, taps it cleverly. Scott Lee, nowhere to go. The handball, however, finds on the half-forward line. Trimboldi lost it to Fosdyke, who's had a good one. He in turn finds Maynard half-back flank.
Stretch mark 2 to Maynard as he finds Richardson on the boundary line. Grandstand side, gets the kick away. Kelly all set himself. Bubner from behind. Kelly almost the grab. Play on the call. Aish has got a firm grip on Trevor Rowe. Those two players have been no more than about 2 metres apart all day. Up high, a tap from Moulds in the direction of Lee. Thought about picking it up, then went for the kick. Greg Thomas against McIntosh. Rowe comes out with it. Well, cleverly gets so he was out of bounds, clearly. That ball was definitely over the line, and the throw-in will occur.
At centre wing, 10-12, plays 13-5. The Legs by 11 points. At the throw-in, Hall against Moulds. Quickly through, Scanlon can't get through. The umpire said he didn't have the footy, and the free kick goes to the Legs half-back flanker. Scanlon from almost centre wing puts the ball high to the half-forward line. Kelly's there, Ducker behind, Neve aerial ping-pong. Richardson to Rowe's good football, slips out a handball, Neve, but well done there by the Dog defence. It was Buckley, who incidentally started on the half-forward flank, but has now moved in defence, thumps the ball out of play.
The Legs lead by 11 points. The Dogs with the breeze. Kelly from behind. McNeil comes out with the football. Gets a kick up towards full forward. Disbury's got front spot. Brady from behind. Disbury, he gets the handball out to Neve. Here's a goal to the Legs. Neve makes no mistake. His second. And Norwood just stretch that lead now. 14-5. The Dogs are 10-12. That's an important goal into the breeze.
Is it ever? And what a fine piece of work then by Disbury. He got the ball in the pocket and he realised that the high handball was not on. He could have lobbed it over to Neve, but went in underground, got the ball lower way to Neve, into the open goal, and the Legs have got their 14th on the board. Neve second, 14-5, plays 10-12 on Sevens Big League.
John Hall against Moulds. Hall the tap to McIntosh. McIntosh gets a hurry kick away towards the half-forward line. Dogs will get out of trouble though, coming to meet at Scott Lee, who had touch of the fumbles. Simon Neve in the footy action once again. McNeil out to Payne. Payne in turn to Stephen Rowe. Legs have started well this final quarter, up towards the pocket. Ducker from behind of Graham, and Ducker's going to be paid the mark, I think. He is. Well, Graham had front spot. Ducker, in fact, turned his back to try and use the body to edge Graham out. And believe it or not, Ducker came out with a footy. He thought about passing off. But as umpire Argent asked him to move around just to make that angle more acute. In fact, Ducker will pass off now. This is loose checking. McNeil and McIntosh were left free. McIntosh comes out with the footy. Well, the angle's certainly better. McIntosh further out from goal. Be a good 40 to 45 metres. If McIntosh can claim 6 points out of this, the Legs could be a long way towards holding on. That was well done, McIntosh. Confused a lot of players then as he moved in. across the face of goal to find John Hall.
I don't know, he's closer than Ducker was. In any case, they've had 3 kicks or 2 kicks in that time.
At least Hall only has to kick straight. Full open face of the goal at which to aim. The kick's a wobbly old one, but John Hall has popped it through for his 2nd goal. Norwood, 2 quick ones to start the final quarter. They're 15-5. The Dogs are 10-12.
The Dogs are in trouble. Smith can't come back on. Now we see Jamie Thomas limping off the arena. Bytheen has got to go back in, and that means that it's going to be a lot of moves once again made by Cowboy Neil, and it's been a regular chess game this afternoon. That many moves, commentators are going dizzy trying to keep up with them.
Well, that could explain why Gary McIntosh is suddenly fighting himself in the game as he gets another handball out, because Jamie Thomas had done a good job on McIntosh. Scanlon on the half-back line. Maynard, he was worried off the footy. Joe Trimboli feeds out the handball. Michael Aish back on it for the legs. He comes out with the football. Oh, had an airy. Butters up again. Finds Payne. Payne looks towards centre wing. Oh, it's well intercepted by Krieg, but he couldn't quite complete a great mark. Scott Lee smothered off the boot by Lester Ross. Ross on the ground for the first time today. Robertson, he's conceding ground. Tackle almost was good enough, but not quite, as Greg Thomas kicks in high towards the square. Coffey will fly from behind, but Mandamaker chips across in front. And Rudy Mandamaker's taken a mark 10 metres out directly in front. If ever Rudy Mandamaker needs to fire, it's got to be this last quarter for Central Districts. They're in trouble at the moment, down by 23 points. Hasn't been a big one for Mandamaker today. Was shifted at one stage from full forward to centre half forward. Shouldn't miss this one. Directly in front. 3 goals to Mandamaker. Central's not done with. 11-12. Norwood 15-5.
Yes, it looks like Mandamaker's still at centre half forward with Page at full forward. And he's also got Bytheen down there at the moment. So, really speaking, the Dog side lacking a little bit of balance, forced on them by the loss of Jamie Thomas and also Smith, who went off with a rib injury in the 2nd quarter. But the Dogs fight back. They trail 11-12 to 15-5, but 6 minutes into the last quarter, it's still anybody's game.
Norwood haven't beaten Central since 1985. Could be about to break the drought as Hall gets up high. Aerial ping-pong. McNeil gets his kick away. Over centre half forward. Ducker comes to meet it. Can't get there in time for the mark. Phil Graham used the body quite heavily there, and Simon Neve was the player that felt the full brunt of that. Umpire Argent to bounce down.
At centre half forward. 11-5 plays, correction, 15-5 to 11-12. Krieg, who's played well, forwards it up towards centre wing. Ross can't keep his feet, but provides the shepherd. Michael Aish in trouble, gets it out now. Simon Neve recovers well, chips out the pass. Neagle, attacking corner of the square, puts it up now for Desbury. The big leap is on. 1-2 grabs, he's got it. Well, he took a screamer in the 1st quarter in the opening minute of the game. It was a brilliant mark. He got up a lot higher than he did on that occasion, but he passed off and the players fumbled the ball, and obviously they didn't score. But on this occasion, he's going to have a shot, rightfully so. He's 35 metres out, must make the distance, and it's going to be touch and go. I think he's got it. 2nd goal, Desbury. The legs now move to 16-5. Central's 11-12. Great action on 7's big lead.
Well, the move by Neil Baum to rest his ruckman at full forward is paying dividends, because Desbury's got a couple, and John Hall as well, while resting up there, has also booted 2 goals. That occasion, Desbury took the juggling mark. It was a good one, and Norwood are now 16-5 to Central 11-12.
Moulds against Hall. Moulds tap away. Krieg will get the free kick for the push. No, it's going to be Rowe. Rowe at the centre to put the Dogs into attack, down by 23, badly needing a goal. A high kick by Rowe goes up towards Bubner at full half-forward line. At the back is Trimboli. He can't find it. Fosdyke gets it out. McIntosh getting back into the game again now. The handball is loose. Oh, they put the saddle on Lee. Can't get it in there. McIntosh at the bottom of the pack again. Oh, Jets hard work. Sampson can't. Quickly on it. Fosdyke. They put the saddle on him. Push his head into the turf. Still working for it. Trimboli there. And finally, umpire Argent's going to ball it up in the left full forward pocket for the Dogs.
Peter Krieg, the Bulldog that's been given the job of trying to keep Gary McIntosh quiet at this stage. He's not quite having the effect of Jamie Thomas. Coffey up high, but Hall comes out with the football to McNeil. McNeil towards centre wing. Rowan Aish. Play on. Rowe gets another tap forward, but Payne will swoop on it for the legs. He'll get around Andrew Moulds, and Payne with space to play with. Drives in the direction of Richardson. Edges out Buckley, and away goes Richardson. He's running in towards goal. He's 40 metres out. Kicks underway. Brady can't do anything about it. That's 16 kicks to the youngster. His second goal, and Norwood looking good. 17-5, Central 11-12.
Well played, David Payne, and there was a couple of little subtle pushes there, or not too subtle pushes. We've got rid of the dog defence, enabled the ball to find Richardson, and he went into the open goal, straightened up, and he's taken, in actual fact, this afternoon, he's had 16 kicks, but he's taken 12 marks, and his has been a fine performance for the legs. They look like winners at the moment.
Norwood are looking good. Centrals really need to turn the table somehow. Out of centre they come through Peter Krieg, up towards half forward. Coming to meet at Scanlon, may have got one high from Page. Play on the call. Went back to Robertson. His kick was smothered off the boot. Scanlon, Page, Robertson, McNeil. He's tackled, gets a kick away, covers about 15 metres. Bytheen, whistle is gone, and in fact the mark is going to be paid to Peter Bytheen. Long way out from goal. He's got man-to-maker in the square as well as Grant Coffey. Bytheen now goes towards the pocket. Man-to-maker made a long lead. Couldn't quite take the mark. Touch of the fumbles as Ross comes out of the pack with the football. To Neagle. To Rowe. And Norwood out of trouble. Towards centre wing. Kelly and Bubner. Front of the pack there was David Payne. Payne will go short looking for Richardson. Buckley from behind at the back mark. Ducker. Graham's right on his hammer. Picked up now by McIntosh. Gets a long handball out in the direction of Richardson. He missed it. Down goes Disbury. Pryor, he's got a beat too. Taps it, thumps it, kicks it, and sees it safely to the line. Although no, getting back on it now is Greg Thomas. Up through his legs, gets around Kelly. This way, that away, goes short and finds Bubner, and Bubner will drive long for the Dogs.
Bubner goes to the half-forward line. Big John Hall's back there. Can't, neither can Ross. Robertson raises a gallop, whips out a long handball. Bytheen, 35 metres out, steadies, goes for home, but he's offline. Gee, they needed that. A bad miss by Bytheen. He was clear, and the Dogs desperately need a goal at the moment. 11-13 to 17-5, and I think Jamie Thomas wants to come back onto the turf, and he can hardly walk.
Well, the Dogs have got problems injury-wise. Already reduced to something like 17 fit men. Towards the outer side, players up high. McNeil takes the mark for the legs. He's got players moving through the centre of the ground. It's McIntosh. He's having a field day since Jamie Thomas went off. Finds Richardson. Richardson through half forward, goes short. It's well caught, choice of two. Coming out with it, Simon Neve. He'll go short, and he finds Maynard. At the moment, the Bulldog defence is in tatters. Rodney Maynard started the day at full-back, now finds himself shooting for goal. High, strong kick into the breeze. He's got the distance almost. No, in the centre of the pack, off hands. Oh, kicked off the ground, and I think the goal is going to be paid, is it, or is it not?
It's still in play.
Well, you confused everybody. Disbury, you jumped up as if he would have just kicked the goal to win an FA Cup final. Off hands. Kick from Buckley towards centre wing. Man-to-maker comes to meet it. Did that well, the big fellow. Gets the kick away. Well read by Sampson. He's got some support in Scanlon. Scanlon comes out with a footy. Tried to get it back to Sampson. Didn't work. Coffey off the ground. 2-on-1. Fosdyke's got to back his judgment. Picked up there. Handball goes out from Neagle to Baum. Baum in turn will find Lester Ross. And Ross goes short to Scanlon. And Scanlon goes to centre wing to find Rowe. Fumble. Kick. Didn't quite finish off the play. Out of bounds on the full.
A brilliant effort by Ducker to keep the ball in play there. Did it well. Got it back to Richardson. It would have been a fantastic performance had he kicked the goal. But the fairy tale ended right there as he kicks out on the full. Brady returns it. Hall too strong in the air. Played a fine game. Big fellow thought about giving it out to Rowe, but he dropped it and couldn't get the handball away. So he's going to return it up towards full forward. Coming to meet it, Disbury one-handed. Swooping on it in there is Neve. He's been a terrier on the half-forward line. He'll go back to Hall. Take two. He's off this time. Umpire asks him to go. Half-forward line. Payne had a good one as well. Loses it this time. They come out of defence, the Dogs. Got it over from Buckley. Got it to Pryor. In goes McNeil. Hall gives a chance to Neve again. Now McIntosh. Oh! Gee, the high tackle has laid him to rest. Down goes Macca, and believe you me, you need a sledgehammer. It was accidental, not suggesting anything else. Just shakes the scraggy head and gets back on his feet again. Oh, that would have floored a bulldog. Well, Mack is up, gritting the old teeth. I've never seen I've seen a prize fighter do that, take 2 steps before he sinks to the canvas. But old Mack up, he got up, and he's going to have a shot for goal. Might be just too far out. Neagle's right over there. He's going to be cut off at the pass. Got the footy. Ducker at the back of the pack. Caught on the left leg. Hooks back. Row over the top. Off the fingers. It'll roll through. But Norwood seem to be pretty well in control of this game at the moment. 17-6. They lead the Dogs 11-13.
Time ticking away for Central Districts. They really need a win today. They've lost 3 of their last 4. Wheels have really fallen off the Bulldogs. Thrashed last week by West. In trouble here at the moment. Play on the call. Michael Aish working like a terrier there at the bottom of the pack for the legs. And umpire agent will bounce down on the edge of the square. We played 15 minutes. It's still the legs 17-6. The Dogs 11-13.
Bounce on the edge of the big centre square. The legs in attack. Hall against Bubner. McIntosh comes out with the footy again. 9 kicks and 3 handballs he had in the first quarter. Died out of the game. Desbury. Oh, what a push. Not so subtle. The Dog defence don't like it. Brad is having a few well-chosen words to say to umpire Argent. In fact, it was Moulds. And the umpire has let the mark stand. Desbury from 25 metres out. I suggest if he kicks this, it could be game, set and match. He's booted 2. Done some useful work this afternoon. The kick underway. The umpire hardly moves. Goal number 3, Desbury. The legs go on their merry way. 18-6 to 11-13. Great and even could be final action on 7's big league.
3 goals to Sean Desbury, and well, you can make your own mind up on whether the push was there or not. From the back of the stand, I think that Moulds had a case. He may have been pushed, but the mark paid to Desbury, and he made no mistake. 3 goals to him. Norwood 18-6, the Dogs 11-13.
Yes, Rick, that's 35 points. Here they come again, however, the Dogs through Thomas, Greg Thomas, that is. Fosdyke, who's been a fine defender, takes yet another mark. He'll slip it out wide. Sampson, the youngster, captain of the under-19s last year, drives long out towards Richardson. This fellow's knocked up getting marks. The umpire says play on. And Shields gets out a long handball. Now it's Robertson. The loose man's created half-forward line. Coffey's got to make a metre, or he missed the ball by a kilometre. Fosdyke again, Richardson. The legs start to mount. Another challenge up towards the half-forward line. Neve looks for a running player. One's not there. Off goes Ducker into the pocket. He's going to have to work hard. He'll need support. Gets round Graham. Does it beautifully. 40 metres out. Steadies. Goes for home, but he's going to be offline, I believe. 1 point only. But the legs doing everything right at the moment as they rack up their 7th point. 18-7. Plays 11-13.
Brady brings the ball back into play very quickly. McNeil front spot, Krieg at the back. Krieg gets the handball in the direction of Greg Thomas. Thomas has got to back his judgment, he does, and gets away with it. Beat both tackles and drives long towards centre half forward. 2-on-1 against Mandermaker. Ross, a pretty weak handball out, but Neagle in turn found a teammate, and now Scanlon breaks free through centre wing. A little bit of pushing and shoving again. This time the umpire saw it. Kelly was the offender. Rowe to Robertson. But Bubner, if he wants him, doesn't. Robertson drives long. Over the back, here's a chance for the Dogs. Shields, Maynard's there for the legs, and it's a rush through for a behind. The Dogs don't need points, though, they need goals. 11-13 to Norwood 18-7.
Cowboy Neil looking just a little resigned to the fact that he's not going to get out of this one. I reckon he had the game scun halfway through the 3rd quarter, but the legs came back. Some good moves by Neil Baum. And they look at change side. The kick in by his brother Craig finds Neve on the half-back line. Neve elects to run it out. Kelly. He's developed into an extraordinarily valuable player for the legs. Rowe's handball wasn't all that good. He's got to go back and get it again. Richardson, fine game. Great tackle. Couldn't get round Buckley. He's his shadow. And on this occasion, Buckley gets it. Shields was his shadow for a while, and they got a little nasty with one another. Now Buckley's doing the job.
Kick from Buckley as Flintoff and Stephen Rowe stand toe-to-toe for a while on centre wing. It's sorted out as Robertson has got Peter Bubner loose at centre half forward. The kick was over Bubner's head. He's got the footy now, though. Breaks around 2 players, shoots towards goal, and it's a disgraceful kick. Bubner can do better than that. No pressure applied at all, and he popped it through for a point. 11-15, plays 18-7.
They've missed a couple of sitters this quarter. Bubner missed that one, Bytheen earlier, and they were ones that Dogs desperately needed if they were going to win the game. Out without being touched from the kick in, and it's going to be a free kick to the Dogs. Barm looking still tense, but I think he's got the game won. Oh, Robertson, that was a fine mark. Kick coming from the other side. I think it was from Trimboli, and the ball was out of play. He's limping as well, or could have been Thomas, Jamie type, who's been limping and actually left the arena on one stage, but had to go back on it. I think the Dogs have got any players left. Robertson's kick at goal is hit the woodwork or the aluminium, and I think that's about their lot at the moment. They just cannot take a trick.
Played 20 minutes of the final quarter. The Legs will have their first win over the Bulldogs in a long, long while. Fosdyke, McNeil shrugs the tackle easily. Still got a bit of dash left in the legs as well. Got ball to ground, then handballed over the top to find Richardson. He looks for Michael Aish. Aish front spot. Neve crashes his way through. Phil Graham in quickly for the Dogs. Ducker tried to work it out towards Kelly. Kelly, Brady, Ducker again. On the bottom of that pack, the ball's going to be held up by Joe Trimboli, in fact, who hasn't played a bad game today too, the youngster for the Dogs.
A few wounded players out there. A throw up on the half-forward line. Kelly and Bubner, and the umpire's going to give him a free kick for a high tackle. I think Bubner was trying to knock the ball or back knock it, hit Kelly accidentally. The umpires awarded him a free kick. Hall could mark this one. The big fellow holds possession. Never ever looked like missing it. In fact, he only put up one hand in the end, and he just brought it down casual as you like. And gee, what an important player this big fellow is in the leg side. He's been on the ground, I think, just about all day. They were forced to change their rucks at full forward. He's had 9 kicks, taken 8 marks, 15 handballs, and his has been a great performance as he boots goal number 3. The Legs go on their merry way, 19-7, lead the Dogs 11-16.
Well, the height there of John Hall being used to extreme advantage, 198 centimetres, just about the biggest man on the ground. This occasion, he just needed that one arm again as he popped it up and drew the ball into his chest and made no mistake from 10 metres out. 3 goals to Hall as the Legs make a change. Scanlon off, Connolly on.
At the centre. The Legs now, gee, who would have thought that they would have been, what, 39 points up into this stage of the last quarter when it's been nip and tuck all afternoon. In that second quarter, the lead changed hands on several occasions, and again in the third quarter, Fosdyke puts out the pass. Well taken in defence there by Joe Trimboli. He's playing in the back pocket by the looks of things at the moment, or maybe half-back flank. It's hard to keep up with his moves. Fine Mark Robertson. He's done some useful things too. Thought about Lee. Kick number 13, Robertson, although he's been used as an interchange player. The umpire's called him to play on. Goes away on the left leg. Lee on the half-forward line takes it well. Thought about playing on, has time, puts it up for Mandamaker. Can't quite get there. The back is Barr. Now Disbury. Gee, he's done some important things too. In fact, all the red leg camp have contributed. Payne to Neve, and it found Krieg. Krieg was brilliant in the first half. He's been a bit quieter since that time. Robertson, centre wing.
Jeff Robertson will go towards centre half forward to find Peter Bubner. Bubner a long way out from goal. He's got Mandamaker in the square, now on a lead. Bubner's going to drive all the way. A long kick with the aid of a slight breeze going right to the square. In fact, forget who's in the square because Bubner's popped it through for his first. Central's 12-16, Norwood 19-7.
Well, it's a pity they couldn't do some of that earlier in the quarter when they desperately needed goals. That was a fine kick from Peter Bubner, but gee, he's been used up a bit today. I think he's played about 3 or 4 different spots. He's played full back, full forward, centre half forward, centre half back, and now he's in ruck. So the only position perhaps he hasn't played is wing and rover. But if he had got that goal earlier together with the one that was missed by Bytheen, it might be a different story. But at the moment, they're looking at a loss.
28 scoring shots, the Dogs, 26 to Norwood, but Norwood have been more accurate, 19-7 to 12-16. Flintoff trying to crash his way through. Neagle picks up the football for the Legs. Simon Neve came off his knee in the direction of Connolly, just back onto the ground, had some time on the bench. Connolly goes short. Oh, well put to McIntosh. May have half volleyed it. No, the mark's been paid. McIntosh really burned in this last quarter as he comes out wide to Stephen Rowe. Rowe gets around Scott Lee and chips away towards the pocket area. Big John Hall on the lead. I think the mark's going to be paid to John Hall. It is. He's having a field day at the moment while resting at full forward. Big fellow's done well on that occasion, leading out and just picking up the footy before the half volley. So John Hall, angle is acute. Kicked 3 goals, 2 in this quarter. Not a bad kick off the boot either. It's just wobbling now though into Philip Graham on the last line of defence for the Dogs.
Graham goes out wide, looking for Bubner. He's well clear. The loose man is on here. Pryor is 35 metres clear, but oh gee, Ross is going to come from the other way. Bubner got outsmarted himself then. His idea was right. He wanted to give it to Pryor, so he's running towards goal, and he just kicked it a little too far. And Ross came into the action. He's in there again. The handball out wide is good. Finds Neve. Puts it up now for Disbury, the big fellow. Has in front of him Neagle. He in turn has Mark Ducker, and the youngster could boot his 5th goal. Chips away, and I think he's got it. Goal number 5, Mark Ducker, a fine performance. 11 kicks, 20 goals, 7 the legs, 12-16 the Dogs.
Young Mark Ducker's always been a rising star at Norwood. Had some fine games and reserves over the past few seasons, but now he's really coming of age, and with the loss and retirement of Neville Roberts, he might be just the fellow that Norwood need in that forward zone to take a grab. He's a strong mark and a great kicker of the ball. That one on the run, 5 goals to him, 27 plays 12-16. 26 minutes gone, final quarter, and it's a 39-point ball game. Going through, Krieg left the footy behind. McNeil edges it in there towards Rowe. Another one with a fine game. David Payne puts it up now for Big John Hall. Ducker's there as well. Phil Graham will get the free kick, and he's been one of the Dogs' best players for sure. Minute of time gone of the final quarter. The legs will triumph over the Dogs this afternoon. Chance now for Flintoff. Through centre wing he goes. Sets up Jeff Robertson. Connolly. The back was McNeil. Gives it back to Connolly, who in turn goes short, and the legs are really running wild at the moment. Stephen Rowe. The Bulldogs appear to have given up as Rowe breaks free. Up towards full forward, looking for Anderson, Richardson, but nowhere near him. The mark taken in defence by Page. He returns it to find Greg Thomas, who almost had his head taken clean off by Ting McNeil. So Greg Thomas, half-back flank for the Dogs. Send the Dogs up over the centre line. Towards Mandamaker, the big fella gets his hands to it, can't complete it, but he comes out with a footy, should get a handball away, he does. Rowe has got time to steady, puts out the pass, half-forward line. Oh, brilliantly done, Craig Barham. That seems certain to find the waiting arms of Mould, but Barham put up the big paw, just got his hand to it and completed a spectacular mark. Once again, I mentioned the number of spectacular marks we've had this afternoon. Neagle out wide, the running player out further is Connolly. Connolly will go into McIntosh, and the legs are doing it well. Whips out the long handball. Sean Disbury got one to beat. Gives a chance, Ducker. He can't find it. Payne can on the left leg, 25 metres out, hooks around the corner. But once again, the legs are offline for the minor score. 28 to 12-16. Having a look at the scoring shots, that's 28 both teams, but the legs are home and hosed in the final quarter. 28 minutes gone. Page for the Dogs towards the centre of the ground to find Russell Shields. Good contributor for the Dogs in the first 3 quarters. 17th kick coming up as he goes out wide, looking for Mark Pryor. Pryor and Ross. It's Ross who came out, I think, the worst of that. Back to Pryor, who doesn't really want it, and Lester Ross also had to find another leg as Pryor breaks free into attack. Booms it in long towards the square. Coffey up too early. The back of the pack, it's going to be out of bounds, is it? Maynard says no, but the goal umpire was in the perfect position, and it's going to be a throw in that left forward pocket. Central's 12-16, Norwood 28. We've played almost 29 minutes of the final quarter. Throw in left forward pocket, Barham, Disbury over the top. Fosdyke can't, Lee can, hooks, and he's offline. And that's the story of the Dogs in the final quarter. Just can't find the wide opening. 12-17, plays 20 goals 8. Neil Barham looking decidedly much happier now. Norwood started this game, were equal top on the table with North Adelaide. Suggests that's probably the way they're going to stay. 2 points to their name today. Lester Ross. Jamie Thomas back on the ground. Ross goes short to find Maynard. The legs, you get the feeling at the moment they've got about an extra 5 players on the ground because they're running around very loose at the moment. McIntosh drives out wide while Simon Neve has made a strong run. Neve easily around Flintoff, onto the left boot he goes. Simon Neve up towards full forward. Hall's there. Richardson comes in from the side. It's going to be Richardson's mark. It was good work there by John Hall. He was the player providing the strong shepherd to allow Richardson to come in from behind. Siren has gone. So Richardson on the siren with kick number 22 to really seal a fine victory to the legs. Kick is underway and he pops it through for his 3rd goal. And Richardson and all of the Red Leg camp can be pleased with their performance today. At one stage they looked gone against the Dogs, but they fought back. Some fine moves made by coach Neil Baum. And on the final siren here at Football Park, Norwood have run out victors. 21 goals, 8, 134 points. The Dogs still a long way ahead of them to get back to their top form. 12-17-89.